That would actually make my life so much easier.
Okay, so I just pull up the playlist. I'm gonna swap screens here.
That way I can actually use 2 monitors at once.
So I full screen the video and then just share on.
Yeah.
Here. Well,
I don't know if you have to full screen it, do you? I mean,
probably
maybe,
not.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna move the. So we are live.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna move the topical stuff up so we can start with the heavy stuff, and then we'll, move on to the other things. Okay. Shit, I haven't had any of my coffee.
Oh, you're doing coffee tonight.
I am always doing coffee on podcast night.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, screen.
See that?
All right. So, are you ready for me to share my screen?
Yeah.
All right. I guess this will work. You let me know. Oh, let me.
Maybe I should have done it before Chris Davis did it, but it's too late. I was just gonna say since he's live, but I mean it looks fine.
All right, hold on one second.
I think we're good.
Cool. I just want to. Yeah, it's black screen right now. I just wanted to pull up chat.
Okay.
Second. All right, popping out chat.
See that?
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, am I recording this?
No,
you
don't have to.
Of course I would be.
Oh,
well, we did it for the past few weeks.
Okay. Hello. We're starting with some heavy shit. Sorry, guys. Get ready. Can you hear it?
No. Just kidding. Yes.
Everybody, get ready to be sad.
You looking for me?
Are we just playing this, or should Nick lower the volume so Chris Davis doesn't have to?
Mind if I join?
I guess Chris Davis can lower from his end. He can just adjust the stream volume.
I can pause it for a second while we figure this out. How would you like me to handle it? First of all, how does it sound for chat?
I'll turn it down just a little bit.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is while they want to hear it, they just want to make sure that we're significantly louder than the thing. Just so if we are talking,
Infrared says good. Sonji sounds good. Tack says good. Hello, everybody.
Let's turn the stream volume down to 69%.
Nice. Sorry. Put post in the announcements channel that we are live. Okay.
Okay.
And what the fuck? Oh, sorry. I've got this. Okay. Hitting play.
Well, you want to pause the video, take it back to the front, and restart it so we can get it right for the video?
Sure. Sorry. Okay. I'm rewinding. Trailer talk starts now. It's getting heavy. Fuck Xbox.
Fuck Xbox.
Get ready to be sad. This is what we're going to be talking about tonight, guys.
You looking for me?
I deeply regret not giving this my game of the year last year now.
BT Dubs, when you deafen yourself in Discord with a stream up, it definitely does not deafen the stream audio.
Oh, that's weird.
For those who were not aware.
God, this game was so good. Oh my god.
It really fucking was.
I mean, I love Evil Within, but I think this might be their greatest game.
It was just so fucking smart.
Play it today, god damn it. Play it today.
Play it today. Buy it today. Maybe go get some residuals.
Sorry. Oh. I guess we'll watch this. This is This okay. I don't even. Thank goodness you're here. I don't know what this is. Okay.
Thank you, Gamer Beck, for 61 months.
Some of these were suggested by the community. I don't know what half of these are.
I don't like Big Ron's Big Pies. Well,
What the fuck?
I remember seeing this. I still don't know what this game actually is.
Platformer. It's a platformer
Okay,
with
I believe you.
with funny music. I don't. Wait, was that supposed to be sex? Did I just hear? Was that like a bed rocking?
You know what? Wouldn't put it past it.
Was this a Sonji submission? Huh?
Oh yeah, there was somebody being flashed. Yeah, that was definitely sex then. You slapped that guy's ass.
I hope I don't regret giving you guys free reign to send us trailer. Thank goodness you're here. Okay, who submitted this?
Let's blame this person. How dare you?
Hold on. No, I don't want to blame anybody. I just want to be aware. This was a Zanny submission. Ooh, okay, here we go. Evil Within 2. Let's be sad again.
Fucking Game of the Year that year. Amazing game.
Do we think there was ever an Evil Within 3 in development?
From my understanding, there was a pitch at one point.
Yeah.
But they chose to go with Ghostwire instead.
I mean, the shitty thing is... Oh, we're going to talk about it. We'll save it for later. Okay. This one hurts maybe the most. I don't know. No, Hi-Fi Rush definitely hurts the most. Hi-Fi Rush hurts the most.
Prey was so good.
Prey was great.
Prey is very good.
Moon Crash is even better.
But, like, Arcane still exists.
Arcane Leon exists.
Austin. Yeah, Leon.
Yes, but Arcane still exists. Like, the company...
I mean, that being said, the property still exists for the Evil Within and Evil Within 2 and Hi-Fi Rush. I mean, Microsoft... I know, but they could do something with it. Just wouldn't be with the same studio.
That's true.
Likewise, this would not be with the same studio. It's technically Arcane, but Arcane Leon.
Yeah. I mean, if Arcane Leon was given Prey, that'd be kind of amazing, but also that's never going to happen. So, again, guys, first of all, thanks for tuning in. I'm pausing it here for just a hot second. We're going to be recording a podcast in a bit. Crispy will be here shortly. And we'll be talking a lot tonight about what's going on industry-wise right now. So it's be a very news-focused show. It's probably mostly focused on the studio closures and the Helldivers stuff. So
it's going to be a very bitter-sounding show.
Yeah, this is the first time ever I've named a podcast before we even recorded a minute of it. This episode tonight is called The Terrible, Awful, No Good Video Game Industry Show. That is what this episode will be called. There's no changing it. Anyways, let's continue. Trailer talk continues.
Brad, I thought you were taking the night off.
And we are...
What is... Rakugaki? What is this?
Oh yeah, this is
And we're just getting started.
This was announced recently. It's a platformer.
I mean, it looks like a platformer.
Very much inspired by Jet Set Radio.
But Jet Set Radio is more of like an open world. This looks more like a level-based kind of thing. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, it looks cool. Got some style.
Yeah.
Looks like the movement's fun. Make your mark. Let's see. This was submitted
birthday,
by...
Brad. Or are you doing that today?
Ooh.
Oh, this one was submitted by your mom.
What is... So I don't even know how to... I can't remember how to say this game already.
Brad, if you think anyone
Rakugaki.
here... Rakugaki. Brad, if you think anyone here is not going to be mean to
That's
Phil
coming soon.
Spencer, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a piece of shit.
Oh, no.
They acquired a bunch of studios, said we love games and we care about studios and we care about games, even if they're not the flashiest and coolest. And oh yeah, by the way, JK, everyone's fired.
Yeah. Well, definitely
Ads?
not
What the fuck is this, Nick?
I don't fucking know, man.
You don't have an ad blocker?
God damn it. Okay, this is why Brad screwed us.
First off, also you can skip ad, Nick.
We're talking. I don't know. Okay, what's this? Abiotic Factor.
This came out like the other day. It's heavily
Oh, so it's
Half-Life
out.
inspired.
Oh, Half-Life inspired. Ooh. Oh wait, but this is like a MMO, isn't it?
No, I think it's like
No?
a cooperative thing.
Would you have thought it could all go so wrong so quickly?
I mean, how is that not
Oh, it's
fucking
some
Half-Life?
survival elements. Ooh, they're capturing aliens. It's like
That's a
capturing
fucking
a
head crab.
Are they using it for like electricity?
Like on a wheel, like on a hamster wheel or
Yeah.
something.
Like,
Damn. Okay, I kind of want to play this.
yeah, this does not look that bad. Especially
This
like
is another one of
6-player
those
co-op
latest
survival.
Yeah, this
four-player
could be
co-op,
fun for
yeah.
a. This could be fun for a game night.
Yeah. It is giving me. It was kind of giving me like whatever that game was we played a while back. For a second, I understand Half-Life, but fuck, Lethal Company meets like
The YouTube game, the YouTuber game.
Content warning.
no, not Country War, but no, like Dwarf Fortress, not Dwarf Fortress.
Oh.
What is that game?
Oh my God.
Rock
Oh,
and Stone.
Come on,
Dark
chat.
Deep
Oh
Rock Galactic.
God. Deep
Thank
Rock
you, Deep Rock
Galactic.
Galactic. Just like the way they were like, it looked like they were like mining minerals like underground.
There's definitely survival elements in there for sure.
Yeah, that looked kind
for
of cool.
sure. All right, another sad
Write that one
guy.
down.
All right, Chris Davis, you write stuff down during the podcast. You should write that down.
All
All right,
Write what down?
the name of that game,
Abiotic Factor?
Abiotic Factor. That was submitted by let's see, Sonji. By the way, guys, we have started a thread in our Discord in the feedback and podcast discussion channel. There's a thread for trailer talk submissions. We'll be taking those from here on out. They don't have to necessarily be new games. In fact, if it's a new game or new trailer that we're definitely probably going to talk about or see, you don't need to submit it. But if it's something kind of out there or whatever, feel free to throw it in that thread, or even old stuff, even like your favorite trailers, whatnot. We'll pull some of those. Ghostwire Tokyo. I didn't really like this game, I'm gonna tell you, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you never beat it though, right?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I dropped it.
I think the latter half, once you had more powers and you could explore more, I think it was better.
Yeah,
I think it has a
probably
rough
would've
first
enjoyed it more.
half.
You never want the rough half to be the first half, though.
Yeah,
That's where you
a
gotta
big
hook
problem.
people.
But like,
But still.
dude, there was when this game went into exude atmosphere, it fucking nailed it.
You know what? This is a game that I might actually go back and play now with the intention of finishing. Now that Tango's gone.
Well, but they also just put out like an update last year with like enhanced content.
Yeah.
Sound was desynced. Oh, it still looks
Sound
good
is-
now.
Is it good? Are we good?
Oh, you're saying Sonji was saying the game had sound desync issues.
Yeah, there were some. I mean, it wasn't that bad depending on your platform.
They probably fixed that by now.
Dude,
Well,
the fucking
I hope they
Ghost
fixed it.
Parade is like
it's very cool.
so fucking cool.
I feel like this is maybe a spoilery trailer.
I mean, I have no idea what's going on, so not for me, I guess.
Wait,
But I also
are-
don't really intend on playing the game.
And the moment you start seeing the fucking ghost giants just walking around town, like, fuck, man. So good.
It had vibes out the
The
yin yang,
Minas
that's for
Grande?
sure. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that I'm gonna go back now that the studio's dead and pour one out for. Yeah, these are all accolade trailers. Thank you, Brad.
I platinum this shit. God.
Early access. Sorry, this is an old trailer. Yeah, we'll be talking about this tonight. No, I'm sorry. Give it 3 seconds, then I'll skip it. I'm so sorry. This is my fault. Actually, it's Brad's fault. But
Technically, it's Brad's fault.
Apex Legends character
Nick?
trailer.
Nick needs to learn how to YouTube, man. You can just press M and it'll mute the stream.
Oh,
Or mute the video.
I don't
and stop
really-
moving your mouse in front of it. The thing keeps popping up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If you need to pause it, just press space.
Oh, you're right. Look at that.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Well, if you really want to know,
I want to know.
for years,
Tell me more.
raised me
So Apex Legends was the surprise breakout, literally hidden from EA's board existence launch.
trade me.
And just like,
Had one
it's done really well for them, even though they haven't put out a whole lot of content, if you think about the numbers.
thing.
But it seems like Respawn is finally being forced to move on.
For years, I sought vengeance for those who'd been taken.
Wait a second. Did that gravestone just say dead parents on it?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's kind of tongue in cheek a bit.
Okay.
Every person in every world asks me the same thing.
Zero Skies asked if this character is just the Joker.
Well, it's a geeky
Eh.
thing. For years,
Maybe an
I was
inspiration.
leader of the old ways.
I feel this
Not
is like one of
gonna
those
lie,
trailers. I'm like, oh man, whatever this is, I want to play it, and then I find out it's a multiplayer game, and I'm like, I'm probably not gonna play it. But I already know it's a multiplayer game, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like this is not a new thing. I mean, back in the day, in fucking 2008, with TF2, they had all like the meet the spy and meet the scout and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like little trailers
TF2?
about the characters. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's one of those things. This is not a new concept for them, kind of like exploring and putting some depth to the characters in multiplayer games.
I mean, this character looks pretty cool. I'm kind of into it.
I mean, this kind of trailer is just basically 3/4 of Overwatch's marketing. Like every bit
that
of,
was gross.
showing them off that game has been them introducing characters.
Who am I?
Who are you? I'm Batman.
Who's there at the
I finished Fallout, by the way, and yeah, there was that one scene where I was like, "Why did you say that name?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they chose that name. I don't know if there's a deeper meaning, but just that they got to know it's kind of a meme.
But I mean, if you're thinking about like a 1950s inspired name, like that's the top of the list.
There are some higher ones.
Or warned.
Most popular girls' names in the 1950s. Number 1, Linda. Karen, Donna, Barbara, Nancy, Patricia, Deborah, Susan.
New map. Okay, so this is an existing. This game's already been out. Oh,
What is
new
this?
tomb. I don't know, but this kind of gives me like roguelike vibes, maybe, or
Yeah.
like horror roguelike. I don't know. I could be off on that.
New Magi.
Ooh, that's cool.
So Egyptian horror.
I love Egyptian horror. I think. Forewarned, Final Reckoning. Look at these characters. They look derpy. Hit 1.0 last month. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Dreambyte Games. What do we got here?
No idea who they are.
I was like, Frostbank. Ah, god damn it.
Tax season in Dallas.
This is why I shouldn't be doing this, guys. What the fuck?
Was he rubbing a fish on her boob?
Goat's the devil.
Aren't
What
they
the
all?
He's gonna punch this cow.
Is that
in
like Da Vinci?
the- maybe? What the fuck?
Yeah, he was wiping that baby's butt. And then he wiped it on that other baby.
Who
Motherfucker.
said I have psoriasis, motherfucker?
Is he gonna kill him? Damn.
Death of the Reprobate.
Reprobate. Interesting.
Are those screaming goats?
Maybe, yeah.
Did you?
Maybe.
Oh damn it! I gotta go back. All right, are these screaming goat?
Dude, just play the whole thing again. I want to watch that one again.
The whole the whole trailer?
Yeah.
Fuck
why
it.
not? It's not that long. It's less than a minute.
So it's a classic point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah.
But I'm getting like Monty Python vibes without the art style.
A little
They're
bit.
going for
yeah.
like classic 17th and 18th century art.
I mean, I'm into this. This is pretty cool. I have psoriasis, motherfucker. Oh my
the
god.
old handgun, Immortal John.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's their screaming goats, but maybe also just regular people screaming.
Sorry, we're closed. Where is Crispy?
A la Mode Games.
He said he's gonna be a little bit late. It's 8:30. I've granted the blessing of eternal companionship. Okay, I hope this is like an appropriate trailer.
She's got a fucking crazy unibrow.
Yeah,
Or
she
he.
sure does.
You could have.
Whoa!
Yeah, probably he. Based on that.
Is this an appropriate trailer? I mean, it's on YouTube. I guess it's got to be. Right?
No,
Dude, you can put a lot of shit on YouTube.
There's
Like,
a
is there really
lot of
porn on
smut.
YouTube? I'm just not aware of it.
Ooh, the third eye.
Ooh, unveil the truth, break the curse. What are those pants?
That guy reminded me of Zell.
From Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
I like the art style for the avatars.
Yeah.
What?
They're in like a supermarket, and that dude has like
Hey, it's Robin.
goat. Did they spell her name right?
Yeah, with a Y.
Nice. Ooh, look at this.
But I think it was a guy.
Kinky. Ah, how dare they? Kinky bed. Use
Yeah, I
your
do like the.
final
I
days.
honestly, I like the art style of the actual game. It's very PS, like early PS2.
I would say this is even like late PS1 almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking this was like a classic isometric kind of Alone in the Dark or Resident Evil 1
Sorry,
kind of thing.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know
Interesting.
what this is, but I'm gonna look it up because that's pretty. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
looking.
show.
Where do I
Sorry,
know
we're
Alamo
closed.
Games from?
Hey, this one's called Robin. Wait, what
It's
is
actually
this?
pronounced
Oh,
Alamodi.
This is another character trailer for some kind of like mobile something or other. But
Honkai Star Rail.
oh, this is a Honkai
fuck?
Star Rail trailer.
Yes.
What is Honkai Star Rail?
Well,
Genshin
I
Impact
don't know what
2.0.
that is.
not really my
Okay.
jam, but I like character trailers. What's up, everybody? We'll be recording soon.
Is
Oh,
Genshin
it's a
still
big-
getting updates?
Maybe.
I'm just thinking that developer is
It's
going to have
up,
3
guys.
high-profile of these games now, with Zenless Zone Zero coming. I'm like, I'm not certain that any singular developer can handle that much content updating.
I haven't heard Genshin Impact anything about it one way or the other in a while, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But at one point, it was like one of the most popular games on the planet. So
It was. I played it for a little bit. It was pretty good.
I
It's just
know,
I
it
don't
was-
have time for that.
it was pretty cool. I just, the fact that they haven't said anything about it in a while just makes me assume it's. I mean, Brad's in chat said it's still getting content, but.
Yeah.
Or no, he's saying it's still one of the most popular games on the planet. It just faded to the background for, I guess, people who move on to play other games. It's a good song, I guess. I still haven't seen the name of this game in the trailer. There it is. Alright, let's see. I don't know how many trailers are left. Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't worry, this will never happen again, guys.
According to this, Nick, in the last hour, Genshin Impact had 654,000 players.
God damn.
I believe it.
So yeah, it's still pretty active.
Alright, so this
Oh,
game's
it's-
called Soul Mask, and I have no idea what it is.
Am I still me?
I feel like, Brad, if you're just in chat talking, you should be here.
He's probably on the shitter.
Becomes completely different.
Alright, I'm gonna look this game up. What's this called again?
Soul Mask.
Soul Mask. Okay.
I know
Can't-
nothing about this game, but it strikes me as one of those games that has that like I don't know. I feel like I'm saying something without knowing anything about it. It just
Campfire.
the name is so
Studio.
generic,
Mm-hmm.
and the character's not really design's not really doing it for me. But I don't know.
Okay, actual combat.
She has blades of chaos. Or chaos blades.
Let's.
I like her little hat. Oh, she's a magic archer. Okay, so she has a bunch of different masks that kind of change her abilities and combat styles, and
That's kind of cool.
So like, it's like Majora's Mask, but you take the Zelda aspect out of it.
maybe there is some Zelda aspect. I don't know.
Maybe.
He's riding
Ooh,
a
riding
cheetah.
a leopard.
Or a leopard.
I don't think that's a cheetah.
Fuck me then. Ooh.
Ooh, people.
So this is like an MMO, isn't it?
Probably. Well,
Oh,
no.
maybe
They're
a
showing a
survival.
singular character.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of people, and there was that little
Yeah.
hut. Yeah, it seems maybe singular, and there was just like NPCs you're traveling around with.
Ooh, you fight mammoths.
Maybe it's just like a full co-op game because they're showing 4 characters at a time.
I'm putting money on
Yeah.
MMO.
I
I don't think it's MMO.
To explore the secret
Go away. I don't want that stuff.
behind.
Early access, wish list on Steam. Maybe somebody in chat can clarify. It certainly appears to be open world. Okay, I guess that's the end of it, guys.
It's all of them.
really.
That's it. That's all we got, which is
The
fine because we're over by a
We're
few
over
minutes.
time.
But Crispy's still not here. Let's see where Crispy is. Crispy missed all of trailer talk. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording then.
Damn it.
It says it's an MMO.
Damn.
I mean, the only thing that seemed particularly interesting of that, other than like the masks being how you switched out your character's combat and apparently abilities, I got just a tad, maybe like a 2% notion of the pathless in there.
But that was like super like traversal heavy, right? Like all
That
about
was very
fast.
traversal heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay. Let me.
All right. Well, since Crispy is late, hold on. I'll share this. 1 second. 1 second. Give me a fucking second.
One.
Did he reply?
No, but what? God, my fucking mouse is driving me crazy. All right, I'm sharing this again.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Brad requested this. I know why, but here.
Okay, my shame is that last night, when faced with the choice between Star Trek and Dragon's Dogma, I went for Star Trek. Which brings me to my fuck you Paramount / Namco Bandai for another pointless Star Trek game. When's the last game that we can actually, like, a last good Star Trek game that everyone can agree? Like, Klingon Academy? Way back
Yeah,
when?
I think we can all agree with that. Yeah,
Like-
definitely
like-
Klingon Academy.
That like Star Trek fans liked, you fucking assholes. Fuck you guys. Oh my god, I'm done.
Was that like Jedi Academy?
Ah!
Just fighting?
Oh my god! He's not trash!
Nick, go!
God.
Have y'all ever played a Star Trek game?
No. I haven't even played FTL. That's not even a real Star Trek game. All right. Oh my god. That is classic. It's just- good
And yet-
times.
2024, we've still only had like mediocre Star Trek games.
Brad says, "What if Crispy never came back to the podcast ever?" Was that Crispy's first podcast? Maybe.
No.
No.
Okay. Wouldn't that be funny if that was his first episode and that was it? He walked out. And we never saw.
That was well after. He came on well before I had us change our setup.
That's so funny. Where is Crispy? Carlos is somewhere.
Everybody somewhere.
True. Well, how's everybody in chat doing? It's gonna be a couple minutes, I guess. Oh,
There
Hello?
he is.
there he is.
All
The
right.
man himself.
You missed all of trailer talk.
Did I really?
We just showed a clip of you.
Doing what?
It's the one that Brad posted earlier, the Star
I-
Trek clip.
I haven't seen it.
Should we screen it again?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
Sure.
honestly don't even know what clip you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Then I'll screen it again. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm a little slow at this. I don't know how. All right. Here we go. We're screening it again. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do it.
Here we go.
Crispy's more
Okay, my
important than you,
shame
Chris
is
Davis.
that last night, when faced with the choice between Star Trek and Dragon's Dogma, I went for Star Trek. Which brings me to my fuck you Paramount / Namco Bandai for another pointless Star Trek game. When's the last game that we can actually, like, the last good Star Trek game that everyone can agree? Like, Klingon Academy? Way back
Yeah, I
when?
think we can all agree with that. Yeah,
Like-
definitely
like-
Klingon Academy.
That like Star Trek fans liked, you fucking assholes. Fuck you guys. Oh my god, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Was that like Jedi Academy?
Ah!
Just fighting.
Oh man, this is-
Nick, go.
God.
Have y'all ever played a Star Trek game?
No. I haven't even played FTL. That's not even a real Star Trek game. All right.
Oh, the memories. Was I talking about the tie-in game from like the
I think
The-
so.
2009 movie?
There was a
Maybe.
tie into the 2000.
Yes,
I-
there was
Yeah.
a video game for the Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto Star Trek where you played as both Kirk and Spock, but it was just like a really mediocre third-person shooter. It's
Yeah. It had a sleek press demo. That
I
had
wouldn't
it-
have been talking that way about the Voyager FPS because I fucking love
elite
yeah,
elite
fucking
Oh,
elite
yeah.
something or other. Voyager Elite
Brad-
Force.
Elite Force.
wanna say that's it.
Brad in chat was like, "What if that was it? What if Crispy walked out of the room and never came back?"
Dude, I don't know. My life probably would have been better.
Oh, fuck. Damn, that one hurts.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you ever
Pretty
play the
much fun.
sequel, Chris?
Yeah,
Didn't,
I did. It's not as good.
okay.
It's not as good, but it has Jean-Luc Picard in it, so I don't know.
But it's Voyager, right?
No, the second one is not Voyager. The second
Oh.
one is after Voyager returns to Earth, and you like the Hazard team, which is like what all the shooty guys are called,
Yeah.
get moved over to the Enterprise. And then I don't know, there's some I don't remember what the story of the sequel is. It's lame. It's not nearly as cool as the first one. I think they also added like dialogue options, which was really weird. It like had a really lame dialogue tree system.
Ooh, hiss.
Yeah, Voyager was sick. Ah, fuck.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Have we? I feel like we're still. It's been years since that clip was made, and we still have yet to get like a really resoundingly good Star Trek game. Or am I mistaken?
Well, since that clip,
Well, there was the VR game.
There
That's supposed
was
to be
Star
alright.
Trek Bridge Crew, which was kind of fun. Like it's not.
It's cool.
It's
cool
it's
concept.
really cool. It's fun. It's better than the 2009 game. But yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else has come out since then. Oh, that Telltale game, the Telltale one.
Telltale made a Star Trek game?
No, but the
Oh, like
like
a
a couple
style,
of no,
Telltale
a couple
style
of
game.
developers from Telltale made their own studio, and they made a game.
Oh,
Um,
somehow I had no idea.
Resurgence?
what was it called?
I think it's Star Trek: Resurgence.
Yeah, Resurgence by Dramatic Labs.
Was it good?
I don't know. I didn't play it.
Hmm.
Received mixed to average reviews from critics, according to Metacritic. PC Gamer, IGN, and Polygon praised the combination of storytelling and decision making, which they thought captured the spirit of Star Trek. However, PC Gamer criticized the amount of QuickTime events. Polygon disliked the minigames entirely, and IGN felt the stories lacked closure.
Oh, okay. So it was an Epic Game Store launch, and it's coming to Steam this month
Yeah. Yeah.
for $25.
Gonna do a
Yeah.
quick sound test real quick. Give me a second.
Star Trek Infinite. Oh yeah, there's like a gotcha game. Oh no, this is the 4X strategy game.
Yeah,
All right, I'm ready.
which came out last October.
Hang on, I'm not at all ready.
Okay.
Whose
Just-
recent reviews on Steam say overwhelmingly negative.
Damn. That sounds like a review bomb, though. Don't you have to be like review bomb to get, unless you're like really
Possibly.
bad?
All reviews says mixed. And that's 2,532 total reviews. All right, I'll start Audacity.
So we're just gonna kind of like last week. We're just gonna kind of roll with it tonight. It's gonna be pretty news focused. Got one game that we have footage for to talk about. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. It might be one segment, might be two segments. I don't know.
We're going to find out.
We're gonna find out. Anyways, while Crispy's getting ready, where are my lurkers at? Who's lurking tonight? Say hello and then disappear back into the void.
Safe in the void.
Also, guys, thanks for tuning in. Because if you missed it, we're doing trailer talks now as a group thing before we record, so consider it like a live pre-show. And in our Discord at discord.gg/4player, we have a thread set up in our feedback and podcast discussions channel where you can leave links to trailers you'd like us to watch. If it's a big trailer that we're all going to obviously see, you don't necessarily need to post it. That'll be featured one way or the other. But if it's something maybe a little harder to find or under the radar, or even if it's just like your favorite trailer from something that came out long ago and you want us to watch it and react to it, drop the link there and we'll feature it on the next episode.
What was that one we saw? A brief something or the 6-player co-op one?
The one that you said we wanted to play for
A
Abiotic
bold something?
Abiotic Factor.
I was so close.
Abiotic Factor. So tonight we had trailers from let's see, Zanny and
Abiotic.
Tak and Sonji and
His release date was 5 days ago.
Bolamite, Zero Skies.
Early
Thanks
access.
everybody who submitted this. We'll do more next week. Oh my good. And also hello lurkers. Avasador, J-Hit, Lemur, Dragon, Platypi. That's like plural of platypus, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Lemur, I think the ship just left port on us doing this
Just
Mass Effect 2
just
spoiler
left
cast.
the port. Y'all don't want
Just
to do a
left.
Mass Effect 2 spoiler cast? Uh,
I mean, Zoomers don't know
Phosphoron.
what Mass Effect is, so
Zoomers.
the Zoomers.
Um. Oh my goodness. What a day, guys. What a day it has been. What a day.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet you're sweet bippy.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, I'm standing by. Y'all just let me know when y'all are ready.
Let me. Oh, I don't want to update right now. Testing 1, 2. I am recording. OBS is recording.
I'm not.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Ready to go.
I am recording. Penis, 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 penis.
Recording.
Vagina.
Actually, I might need to double check my stupid sound settings because it changes every single week. Apparently. Oh. Okay, I think we're good. All right, now I'm recording. All right, so we're all recording now?
Yes.
Recording.
All right, then let's do a quick roll call, starting with Nolan.
Hi, my name is Nolan, and I am definitely recording for this roll call.
Crispy,
Hello.
and Chris Davis.
Hello, I'm also recording because I'm a responsible adult.
Wonderful. All right, we good to go? We ready? I get in my Zen place.
We're
Gonna
gonna
need
need
it.
fucking Zen tonight.
Gonna need it tonight. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 793. Let the record show it is May 7th, 2024. It is a dark day for the video game industry. I am joined tonight by Nolan Hedstrom.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I mean,
Christopher-
hey, how's it going, everybody?
Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
There we go. That's appropriately
A
somber.
solemn hello.
Solemn hello. And Christopher Davis, who looks like he's pouring himself a shot of vodka and taking it. Oh my! I thought. Wait, whoa! Back up a second. Hold the fucking phone. Chris Davis, didn't you just tell us last week that you have that you haven't like had any hard alcohol in like 2 years or something?
That is correct. Today is a day for it.
He's
Man.
pouring one. Okay, well,
You did this, Phil. You knocked him off the wagon.
fuck Phil Spencer. Okay.
It was a
Anyways.
very bad day.
It's been a rough day. So here's what we're gonna do tonight, guys. Honestly, before we decided to record this, I was planning on kind of moving forward with the game night. Yesterday was Brad's birthday. I don't know if that has anything to do with why he's not here tonight, but he's not here tonight. So I was like, yeah, let's play a game. And then this morning, we were hit with some pretty devastating news. The whole gaming community was hit with some pretty devastating news that Xbox has closed some pretty major and important studios. I guess chief among them, the one that's, there's 4 studios in particular that were canned, and we're going to talk about all of them. But the 2 that are kind of maybe the most high profile being Tango Gameworks, who we obviously for a long time have really rallied behind. They're known for games such as The Evil Within and Hi-Fi Rush,
They are
Ghostwire
beloved.
Tokyo. They're beloved. They are a beloved studio. Started famously started by Shinji Mikami, the creator behind the original Resident Evil, and it's been kind of they've built themselves up, and as of today they are no more. So that's terribly sad. We'll talk about that. Arcane Austin, right here at home, since we record here in Austin, closed. This is the studio behind Redfall, but maybe more importantly, the studio behind Prey. You remember that game, which came out, when was that? Like 2015, 2014? I don't remember. That was kind of like a BioShock-esque take on Prey. It was the game that shared the name Prey with the original Prey, but had nothing to do with the original Prey. We all remember that game.
I mean, if anything, based on what I've been playing this past week, which we won't get into, it's very, very much inspired by System Shock.
Yes.
Wow,
And
I'm tired.
it's a beloved game. We I think most of us here have played that,
Prey
if not
was
all of us.
2017.
2017. It's fucking
Yes.
just a fucking gem of a game.
7
Same
Love that.
year
Years
as
ago.
Death of the Outsider.
Did Arcane Austin work on Death of the Outsider?
No, that was Leon.
That was Leon.
Leon? Okay. I can't remember if Arcane Austin actually had any like support role on any Dishonored game or anything, but
Oh, surely
know.
there's some collaboration going on
Yeah.
by there, but primary development yeah.
Dishonored 2 was the first to be developed separately by Arcane Leon.
so
Yes.
so Dishonored 1 was a collaboration
It was
between
both studios, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So yeah, Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks are both no more as of today, which we'll talk about. Also, of course, noteworthy. Roundhouse Games and Alpha Dog Studios, I believe, or is it Roundhouse Games or Roundhouse Studios?
It's Roundhouse Studios. Roundhouse Studios is actually reformed Human Head, the developers of the original Prey from 2005.
Right.
There's a very interesting story behind Roundhouse becoming Roundhouse.
So here's a question, and we'll get it. We'll dig into this a little bit deeper, I guess. But did Roundhouse, and this has no bearing on whether or not, obviously it's tragic, but I'm just a question. Did Roundhouse Studio, after being formed into Roundhouse Studio, did they ship a game, or are they being closed before ever shipping their first game?
No,
Or are they
they've been a
primarily
support studio. They've been a
Okay.
support studio since they were acquired. So what happened was, 2019, they were developing a game called Rune 2. It was their own IP, and they were running out of cash. They released it on a Tuesday. They closed the
ship a game.
studio on a Wednesday.
Wow.
On Friday, they got an offer from ZeniMax to have them be their owner. And then the following Monday, they were Roundhouse Studios.
That is. Can you imagine
All the
leaving
same
work on
personnel,
Friday?
just they came back to the office and they had a different employer, but they were doing the exact same work.
That's got to be pretty unusual, huh? So yeah, acquired by ZeniMax, which was later acquired by Microsoft, and then Microsoft being the one who's putting these studios on the chopping block today, which is terrible.
Also, just an important note here for what we're going to talk about. All 4 studios are Bethesda studios.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
There's
we'll get into
ZeniMax.
that.
Yeah.
ZeniMax Studios, but they're under the ZeniMax Bethesda umbrella, all shuttered today. And there's some theories, obviously just theories. This is one of those topics we're going to talk about that I don't, we may never know what really happened or the reasoning behind any of this.
We're going to fucking find out. That shit's going to leak.
I mean, there's going to be stuff. There's going to be talk. But there's some interesting theories as to why this is all happening right now that I kind of hope are not true. But we'll get into that. And the fourth and final studio, which I'm going to be honest, I don't know anything about. It sounds like something maybe Chris Davis knows. But Alpha Dog Studios, what can you tell us about them?
Oh, they were a mobile developer. Their work that they were doing was Mighty Doom.
Mighty Doom.
It did not have much of any presence in marketing other than just like their announcement. It came out last March.
Is
it
this
was an
related
Android
to like
iOS title.
Doom proper, like Doom DOOM?
Yes, like an
Interesting.
isometric bullet hell Doom that had a cutesy art style.
I was like, that sounds pretty cool until you said cutesy art style, which I think kind of flies in the face of Doom.
It
but
did
whatever.
not review well.
That's neither here nor there. 4 studios shut down today. Everybody is understandably very upset. This is like, we've been talking a lot about studio closures and layoffs and stuff for a long time now, and obviously every time this happens, it's upsetting. I think this is like one of the ones that's just kind of like people are just like, okay, this is enough is enough. Holy fucking shit, what are you doing? Like, people are genuinely flabbergasted by like the logic behind these decisions.
Don't make no sense.
who's
No.
making the decisions and what. Like it's confusing.
You can make an excuse theoretically for Arcane
We're not
Austin
here-
and Alpha Dog.
Well, we're not
You
here to make
cannot make a
excuses.
fucking excuse for Tango. You cannot. It's fucking ridiculous.
You know what's
Well,
crazy?
hmm.
That studio that Bethesda made to make that canceled multiplayer game Battlecry, remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so they made a studio called Battlecry Studios. They canceled Battlecry. They changed the name of the studio to Bethesda Game Studios Austin. And they're
Go
the
for
studio
it.
that made Fallout 76.
Yes.
They still exist.
Yes, they do. This is
Isn't
one of
that
those
wild?
like
Isn't that
this is one of those conspiracy theories that I was kind of alluding to before, and I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, this sounds like maybe just a little bit closer to the side of reality than I'm comfortable with. And like maybe this is really what's happening, but like people are saying like this is this all this. I mean, who knows how long these decisions were cooking, right? But the timing seems suspicious, given the huge success of the Fallout TV show, and how Todd Howard made a comment last week about like they're exploring ways to produce games faster, so people aren't waiting like 8 years for Elder Scrolls 6 and blah blah blah. And it's like people are like, if these decisions are being made so that they can throw more money and more resources at making a new Fallout game to capitalize on the success of Fallout. Again, conspiracy theory, there is nothing really to support or substantiate this claim, but like it makes just enough sense that I feel kind of gross.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not specifically about developing the next Fallout or the next Elder Scrolls, it is about, it's about investors wanting to feel like they're making the company more efficient or some bullshit. Like, it's something that is completely short-sighted. It's something that has nothing to do with the fact that, like, these companies had talented people and could make talented products that would make money for the company, and had everything to do with, bullshit like efficiencies and redundancies and shit like that. It was all about making the stock prices just a little juicier. Like, insane stuff.
And like when you look back at kind of the decisions that Microsoft has been making for the past however long, like they've been trying to kind of pivot, right? And I saw somebody earlier that made like a funny comment. They were like, did Microsoft ever really recover from Don what is his name, Don Matrick's stupid comment, right? Like it feels like ever since that moment they've been fumbling the ball trying to like earn back some of the goodwill and respect, whatever, that was just immediately lost when they gave that guy a microphone.
Don Matrick was trying to kill the fucking brand. If Don Matrick was in charge of Xbox for another 3 years, the platform would be third party. There would be no Xbox hardware. It would just be a brand.
I mean, it was bad. I mean, they reacted quickly because they recognized how bad that was. Whatever. But like here we are, years later, and it's like they've never recovered. Like they're even somehow fumbling decisions with like they're like some of the biggest properties in the world. Like the Halo is like a thing that people don't revere anymore the way it used to be, which is kind of insane.
Used to be gold and used to be a big old money machine, and now people don't give a shit.
Yeah, and that's sad.
The thing is, people do want to give a shit, but they aren't putting out fucking games.
Which is like they have like their strategy for the past, and I don't remember when this started. We started noticing it very quickly when they were like their E3 press conferences started like featuring, like they were focusing heavily on like, hey, look at all these studios we're acquiring. Like these are now we're welcoming these studios into the Xbox ecosystem. And that was their approach. We are going to acquire studios, acquire IP, and we are going to make those names. So we're going to associate those names with our brand.
And then like Tango Gameworks puts out a surprise out of nowhere hit, and Microsoft's like, we're gonna reinvest in Tango Gameworks, and a year later they're dead.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like if they were a parent, they would be in jail Like, why
Yeah.
is your child dead?
It's like-
It makes me think a lot too about, like, you got to think about all the other studios that still are here that have games in the pipeline, right? Like,
or
I feel
games
like
that we
if
don't know
Tango-
about at all.
You know, if a game that we don't know about is canceled, it doesn't hurt quite as much. Except,
Did you know that Arcane Austin was actively in development and days, not weeks, not months, days away from an
From announcing?
update for Redfall to,
Oh.
amongst
Wow.
other things, add the offline mode?
That hurts.
Oh,
that fucking hurts.
what?
They did not
It's-
know. They found out this fucking morning from the fucking email and media on Twitter.
That sucks.
Yeah, like, it's so disheartening to, like, open Twitter and see, like, all these people who have been like, who are like, I hate this place. I left Twitter, and they're like, hey, I'm back because I need to find work. Just
Yeah.
flooding my timeline.
And also,
Um,
like, Arcane Austin, like, I know a couple developers that now used to work there. And the past several months, they had been in the process of research, of going out, looking at other games, having their teams try things out, and see what they want to build and prototype and build off of. Like,
Yeah.
this was their concept and experimentation stage. And, like,
It's gone. Yeah,
it's gone. It's fucking gone.
And I think the worst part about it, I mean, aside from the obvious fallout, which is that a bunch of people, talented people, are now out of work and are searching. It would be one thing if it was like, hey, we're gonna restructure these studios and, like, rebrand and, like, move people around and, like, come up with new projects. Like, that would be like, if these people were still employed and just being shuffled around and a few projects were canceled in the process, it would be sad, but it wouldn't be nearly as insulting as, like,
For sure.
Fatal Frame in chat says, imagine getting fired via a tweet, which is more or less what happened.
Yeah. That's awful.
Feels like
It's
that's happening
fucking-
way too much now.
It's
Yeah.
fucking awful. And you gotta think about, like, we have games on the horizon from studios that we care about, that we're very excited, and, like, Hellblade comes out this month from Ninja Theory.
Hellblade comes
Ninja
out
Theory,
in 2 fucking weeks.
Ninja Theory being a studio that I care deeply about, I know a lot of us here care deeply about, and
Yeah.
if Tango Gameworks isn't safe from something like this,
No one's safe.
no one's fucking
Nothing's
safe.
fucking safe. And
Obsidian is owned by by Microsoft. They're working on
Dude,
Avowed.
we're not
Yeah.
even thinking about
Yeah.
the big one, the big fish that could get.
Wait a
cut.
second. Hold on. I'm trying to guess what Chris Davis is considering the big fish.
Big one.
We're talking about Bethesda owned, or no?
We're talking
What
about
are we
like any studio under the Xbox umbrella.
But are you thinking of, like, first party studios that have been working on, like, big stuff, like Perfect Dark and, like, Rare, and I mean, I guess
encompassing. I'm gonna say it out loud. It's fucking Double Fine.
Oh, yeah.
Double Fine put out Psychonauts 2
Oh,
3 years ago
no.
and has been silent on anything else they're working on. And if there is any
Yeah.
studio that puts out low-selling games that may be critically acclaimed, but they don't sell well, it's fucking Double Fine.
Hey, look, Brad's not here, but he's somehow in chat and he's talking. So I just want to say, so he's apparently, Jeff Grubb tweeted today that Perfect Dark is a huge mess.
Yes, they're
What?
not even certain at this point if it's going to be a first-person shooter.
What in
Really?
the actual fuck is this? Okay, so I know game development is hard. I know there's a lot of different studios in play here, and I know that there's a lot of nuance to these conversations. But, like, let's be real here. Like, Microsoft hasn't had a win, like a real genuine win, outside of Hi-Fi Rush
Yeah, right.
in a long time. And Hi-Fi Rush didn't save them. They're done. Tango Gameworks fucking done. You can't, like,
They had that TV show.
fucking I'm like, Perfect Dark seems like a slam dunk. It seems like it should be a slam dunk. But, like, also, you just think about playing the numbers, right? Like, if it's a numbers game, you would think they have, like, 50 different projects in the works. Like, a good chunk of them should be, statistically speaking, hits.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like, I feel
Yes.
like that's somehow like they just can't dig themselves out of the fucking hole.
But their definition
And
of a hit isn't anything fucking reasonable.
yeah, I do think
Hi-Fi
this.
Rush sold like
I
what
mean-
2-3 million copies in its first couple months. Like that's a
What
moderate
AAA
success. That's something to be proud of.
What AAA game studio like is ever like satisfied with their game sales? You know
Yeah, I
what
mean,
I'm saying
the
Yeah.
they're
expectations keep
always
getting
underwhelmed.
Yeah. The expectation
Mm.
keeps going higher and higher and higher, and
This kind of stuff, like, I don't know. I'm no fancy financial analyst, but this feels like one of those situations where they're making money by selling stock, not by selling games, you
I
know?
mean,
Like
that's
yeah,
what
like
major
a bunch of people
corporation, like,
are getting ready to like unload stock or some shit, like
I mean, it certainly seems like the decisions are not being based solely on the the creative value that they offer the brand as a whole. You know what I mean? Like they don't seem to really genuinely care. And this also kind of ties into Phil Spencer's name has come up a lot today. In the past, here's the thing: I don't want to talk about fucking Phil Spencer's feelings. That's been a huge
Phil Spencer's
clusterfuck.
feelings.
No, like
What?
Twitter
would
has
we
been
care?
a Twitter has been a fire with like people are coming to Phil Spencer's defense, and people are like, "What the fuck are you doing? Shut
leave
up!"
the
This has,
multi-million dollar company alone.
this has nothing to do
What?
with Phil Spencer as a person.
Oh, we're
He is
fucking
an executive, and this fucking company is being fucked by the executives.
we're
Like, just straight up.
busted. We're
He's
done.
he's the head of Xbox. He's the one that gave the approval for this to fucking happen.
Right. At the end of the day, the buck stops with him, and you know, it's just oh man,
It's so
I don't
fucking
really have
worrying.
anything
Like,
nice. I don't have anything nice to say. So
there is nothing
Yeah.
fucking nice to say. The only reasonable, okay situation here is the fact that Roundhouse is not being called. It's merging with ZeniMax Online, so they can work on fucking Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. Like
at
that's
least
it.
those people are still employed.
They
but
have their
they're-
fucking
yeah.
jobs.
Microsoft posted a 17% increase in revenue to $61.9 billion, with $21.9 billion in profits, up 20%, and earnings of $2.94 or $2.94 per share,
And that's
beating
as
Wall
of when?
Street's expectations across the board for the third quarter of its 2024 fiscal year.
This is a $1 trillion company. Trillion with a T. Like,
Yeah.
Like
come the
they
fuck
probably
on.
weren't even spending that much money to keep like Tango GameWorks open. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a full circle slap in
Like,
the. It's a full circle slap in the
that's
face.
awful. It's so sick.
And like, and I think I started saying this earlier. And I didn't get the thought out, I guess. But like, maybe the worst part, aside from the people who are out of a job, is like these studios are being closed, and now that IP that existed because of that studio, it just falls into Microsoft's lap. They own the IP, but the studio that created it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're either just going to sit on it and never do anything with it ever again. So that things like Evil Within, Hi-Fi Rush, they're just going to be in limbo, or they're gonna fire all these people, wait a year or two, and then give it to somebody else,
Yeah.
which seems shitty in
They
a different way.
they're not able to get anyone else to work on any fucking thing right now. They tried to find a studio that could make a fucking Fallout game, and everyone was either busy or refused to do it.
Yeah. I mean, which studio are you referring to in that sense?
All the appropriate studios like Bethesda, like Obsidian, like In Exile, those are the big three, but they've been shopping it around further beyond that.
So for like the next major Fallout game, or are you talking about
Yes,
Fallout
for
76?
Fallout
Okay,
5.
Gotcha. Yeah, which is clearly a I think it has got, at least a part of it has got to be kind of a reaction to like the sudden massive success that is massive mainstream success that is Fallout now, thanks to the Amazon show. But still, like, oh man, do you think like the wild success, even if there's no actual validity to it, does the success of this Fallout show, do you think people are just going to blame it and just be like, fuck this show from now on? Okay.
Necessarily.
No, I don't.
Only if they have like a fucking tinfoil hat on. No.
I mean, there's a lot of people
Some
in
of
this
them
country.
do.
Yeah, there's definitely some tinfoil hats out there.
I do
Um,
feel kind of glad that I skipped the hype though, because this
It's
would put
pretty
a
good.
bad taste in my mouth if I was all high on
Yeah.
Fallout.
Yeah.
But that's like,
Yeah, it is. You know, and like the kind of like in other news, I guess Bethesda has been working on like a big major update for Starfield, which all seems like positive changes. I'm actually pretty excited to see some of the changes in place. And it's like just as like I'm starting to be like, ooh, yes, I'm ready to. I mean, I'm actively playing Fallout 4 right now, so like I'm kind of in like Bethesda mode. Like I'm enjoying Fallout. I'm looking forward to getting back into
Why did
Starfield.
you
They're
go
about
with 4 out of curiosity?
because that's the one I've never finished.
Okay.
And it's the
enough.
one I know least about, so it felt less like I was replaying something and more about playing something new.
Okay. Can we kind of quick tangent
Yeah.
about Fallout?
yeah.
I saw something on this thing. I don't know if you've heard it, called the internet the other day.
I'm
That
vaguely
I
familiar.
have easily 350, 400 hours in Fallout 3. Probably a good 200 plus hours in New Vegas.
Right.
Maybe a little more. Fallout 4, I don't know, maybe 90, 100 hours, something like that.
Right.
I've played a decent amount of Fallout.
Yes. That adds
I
up.
did not know that when you're hacking a computer, you can reset your tries.
What?
There are brackets that surround some junk code, and if you select those and you get like 3 of them, it resets your tries. See, Nick didn't know either.
Does anybody
And
know
I didn't
that?
know
Wait,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when the game doesn't fucking teach you that.
I
I
mean,
thought it did. Wait,
no.
no, because there's like the little brackets. Like when you find a bit of code that's like in brackets, it they do other things too. I don't think it just resets tries.
You know what I think this is? I
I
think this
think
is one of those
sometimes they
things.
also will remove wrong bits of code
So
too, right?
I think they started doing that maybe in like 4.
Yeah.
But like I never fucking knew that.
Some people in chat saying they knew. You know what this feels like to me? This feels like one of those things that's like they don't explicitly tell anybody, but somebody figured it out and somebody told somebody else, and like everybody just kind of assumes that everybody else already knows this, so nobody actually talks to each other about it, and it has become this like super kind of like the people who know.
So
know,
like the
and-
threads I found talking about it, there was a shit ton of people that didn't know.
Yeah, this is the first I'm
and
hearing about it.
Yeah, and it's like clearly, hey, 50% of the people here didn't know.
I wish I didn't know. Why is this in my brain? Get it out.
Well, like fucking imagine me, man. Do you know how many times I quick saved, tried to hack 2 wrong things, back out, load my save, and fucking
You
do it
thought
over
you
again?
were
That's exactly what I
so
did.
clever, Nolan. You thought you
Nolan
had them by
save
the
scumming-
balls.
Nolan is save scumming hacking attempts in Fallout.
Oh, you
nothing
piece
wrong
of
with that.
Shit. Piece.
I'm
There
not
is
saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying I wasted a lot
I
of
am.
my time because if I could have been resetting my like tries,
You could have got
I was doing
hundreds
the
of
same
hours
thing
back.
where I was just resetting it kind of different. Y'all were cheating just as much.
Nolan's like, I literally could have saved myself like 100 hours probably.
The only way to win is to not play.
Yeah.
Can I get back to being angry for a second?
Yeah, sure, of course. That was a tangent. Back. Please
It's-
proceed.
We are 2 weeks away from Hellblade 2. The
Look, I'm already bracing myself.
The showcase game for Xbox this generation has been Hellblade 2. Every single visual presentation they've ever done, that's the first game they hype up. This game comes out in 2 weeks.
It ain't safe.
Where's the marketing campaign?
That's a good
How
point.
is this game supposed to sell well if it's not being plastered
forget-
everywhere at this point?
Don't forget, they're also putting a lot of stock in Game Pass, which I feel like might be backfiring on them a little bit. This goes the business decisions behind Game Pass and what that means for the company as a whole. I don't really know the specifics of, but I have to imagine that they've been for years putting some pretty big games out on Game Pass, and like I feel like to some extent maybe cannibalizing their own sales, which might be shooting themselves in the foot. And now they're starting to like really have to pay the price for Game Pass being such a good deal, quote unquote. I could be talking out of my ass. I have no idea.
Game Pass is your most popular product. I get that. It's a very good value for people. I get that. You cannot market solely to fucking
Right.
Game Pass.
No,
You
I'm
need
not arguing
trailers
you.
out there. You need ad buys. You need to get people to realize that this game is fucking coming out. Because it was announced 4 fucking years ago.
Right. I mean,
It's time.
I think. Look, I'm not going to make excuses for the marketing team. I think some of the success and failures of some of these projects does come down to marketing. I feel like Tango Gameworks specifically, like Hi-Fi Rush, they felt they lucked into because they shadow dropped that game on the day they announced it, and it was word of mouth purely, and it was a huge success for them. But it was also on Game Pass, so I don't know what that does to their ultimate bottom line for that game. But at the same time, like Evil Within, I don't think was ever marketed properly, so I think that underperformed. Ghostwire
It got decent
Tokyo,
marketing.
did it? I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe it did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about. I mean, Ghostwire Tokyo actually got
Debatable.
a fair amount. I don't know.
I mean, The Evil Within came out 10 years ago. Like, you were
Yeah.
in your 20s at the time.
The Evil Within 2, I seem to remember more marketing for the Evil Within 2 than the Evil Within 1, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I expect Hellblade 2 to start ramping up. It's going to be a very short marketing lead into the release of that game, which, you know, I echo your sentiment. What the fuck are they waiting for? I don't. Maybe they're waiting to get this news out of the way. I don't. It's a bad look.
maybe.
Like they're gonna close these studios and then start marketing Hellblade 2, and people aren't gonna be like, you think people aren't gonna be like, what are you gonna do to Ninja Theory after this game's out, huh?
I mean, unless they start marketing immediately and it's like an 8-digit number for marketing to like get it every fucking where. This game, like the only choice for them to help save this game's image is to delay the release. Like, let this controversy blow over for most laymen's and give them time to be prepared to slowly build up a good marketing campaign, or
It's
get
not
it
gonna
done
happen.
now in time for your release date that you've set.
I would expect the marketing campaign to stir up this week. Literally this week, and if it doesn't, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, because I don't see the game being delayed at this point. Honestly, at this point, I think Hellblade 2 is going to come out, and I think it's going to be a critical success. I have no idea whether it's going to be a financial success, and then I'm bracing myself to find out what happens to Ninja Theory afterwards, because I don't have a lot of faith that Ninja Theory. I mean, a lot of their games have, quote unquote, underperformed financially, right? I don't think they've ever been like this surefire, you know, money maker, right? They don't print money for Microsoft, which is why I always kind of thought maybe that was one of the acquisitions where I was like, okay, Microsoft is trying to they're trying to exude this look that like, we care about IP, we want games, we want games to be associated with Xbox, and like at this point we don't care about how financially successful they are. We want people to associate Hellblade and fucking help me out here. All these games, right, that we're talking about. I'm just blanking.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi
they want
Rush,
all these
for
games
example.
Avowed, Hi-Fi Rush, Hellblade. Like, they want all of these games to be associated with Xbox, and that was what they were trying to
They
wanted
to convey an image of a variety of titles that you can get from Game Pass.
Right.
And now, as of this morning, in that email from Matt fucking Booty, he's saying that they are reprioritizing to do high-profile titles, which means franchises, which means fucking Gears of War and Halo and Forza, just the big names that they have in their fucking catalog.
And Fallout.
And Call of Duty.
The problem is they're all just chasing the next fucking Fortnite. That's all they're doing, is they just want that next MMO that's going to rake them in bucks for years. And they're hoping that Fallout 76 was going to be that, but definitely not. Don't get me wrong, I guess it's more successful now than it used to be.
People are flocking back to that game after the show, like in surprising numbers.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, what they've done is they've pulled the rug out from under their own message. Like, they clearly don't actually care about the creatives that make them their money. They don't care about the actual creative product that they claimed to. All they care about is the bottom line. Which, of course, I mean, it's a corporation. We all kind of knew that, but like for a long time, Microsoft was trying, and a lot of this was using Phil Spencer to do this, was to like create this like persona of like, yes, we care about gaming as a culture, as an industry, blah blah blah, and that I guarantee you, like nobody's going to have good things to say about Phil Spencer going forward. Like, holy shit.
You remember a couple years ago when Xbox put out their own documentary about their studios and everything? They put out like an hour-long fucking documentary thing. There is a segment that's been going around today in social media from that, talking specifically about the closure of Lionhead and what lesson they've learned from that.
They've learned nothing.
Like Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond specifically on camera calling that out and saying, what have we learned from this experience? How can we treat our developers better? Like, what the flying fuck?
Obviously, they're going to say that on camera.
Yeah. I mean, but like, you at some point, and again, you know, we're talking about a corporation here, so none of this should really be surprising, right? But
here's another thing about Hellblade, real quick. Hellblade was developed by Ninja Theory at a time in which they only had, by modern standards, a micro budget. Like, it was probably developed on a low 2-digit number maximum, that game. They innovated resources, came up with new techniques to create an incredible experience, right? Ninja Theory has spent the past several months dealing with social media and tempering people's fucking expectations for this high budget. Oh, we can actually afford to make Hellblade's proper vision now. And they've been saying things like, oh, don't go into this expecting like a several dozen hour experience. It's gonna be about the same as the previous one. Oh, it's not gonna be the same scale, that you're expecting. It's gonna be about the same as Hellblade 1. It's a $50 game. Calm yourselves down. Like, you're eating into your fucking customer base and hurting your sales.
Well, I would say, especially in an industry like this, it can be good to try to temper people's expectations, because some people's expectations get wildly out of control. But
yes. Truth in advertising
in conjunction with what's going on today, it doesn't look good.
No,
it ain't a good look.
It fucking doesn't.
Oblivion Crow in chat asked, whatever happened to Wukong? Wukong is coming out in August.
But that's not published by Microsoft, right?
It's not published by Microsoft. That's multi-platform. It is coming to Game Pass. I don't think you have to worry about Wukong being...
If it's a decent game, I don't know if it will be or not, but we'll find out.
The studios that you need to worry about at this point are Obsidian, and this is not a comprehensive list, obviously, but Obsidian, Ninja Theory, what's the name of the studio that made Horizon, Forza Horizon, that's making Fable,
Playground?
No, not Playground. That's Playdead. Playground.
I think Playground is okay until Fable comes out.
I think they are okay, but once they finish Fable, I could see them immediately being put back on Forza. Like you're never gonna let you do.
Well, they have another studio, another team that's working on Forza, dedicated to that.
Well, I mean, I'm saying they could.
Motherfuckers. Forza.
Forza. I'm sorry.
What Forza?
No, it's Forza.
Forza.
I don't.
What I'm saying is, if we ever, if Fable ever sees the light of day, even if it's successful, I could see Microsoft saying, "Great, you did a great job. Now get back over there as a support studio on Horizon."
Now look across the river and tell us about the rabbit hutch.
Yeah. Also, like another studio you didn't fucking mention, which
there's a lot of studios that didn't mention.
Scares the shit out of me.
Rare.
No, Rare has done Sea of Thieves. They're going to continue doing Sea of Thieves for years. They're going to be fine.
They're also making Everwild. Which,
but who?
We don't know what the
that's probably going to be canceled. Who knows what the fuck that is? Which
we don't want.
Yeah, no, I don't want it to be fucking canceled. Let me be clear.
Canceled.
I'm just like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What terrifies me? Machine games.
Oh, yes. Indiana Jones is suddenly teetering on the edge of
Is that
Wasn't
do
it
people have
always?
that in their drafts? Was that a thing?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like-
I
it's like
did
Chris-
it because I have faith in machine games. And
You
look,
did it, Chris Davis. You took all the big risks. Oh,
Yes, he
yeah.
you are gonna bomb and fail and bomb and fail.
I'm already fucking.
Yeah.
Nintendo killed me 2 months ago. It doesn't fucking matter at this point. Look, Machine Games did a reboot of Wolfenstein that
It's amazing.
I fucking adore. And they're making
They're
an
not safe.
Indiana Jones game, which I'm very much looking forward to. But I feel like the stigma and stain of the last Indiana Jones movie is just like a shadow
Whoa.
being cast
Wait,
over this
wait, wait,
fucking
wait.
game.
I thought Dial of Destiny was just kind of like whatever.
Yeah, Dial of Destiny is definitely not
That's
Kingdom
the
of the Crystal
problem.
Skull.
It's whatever. You can't have a mid game or mid anything anymore.
No,
It
no,
has
no,
to
no.
either be
No, but like
exceptional
it's
or
still
fucking
Indiana
bad.
Jones. Like
People
I think
like
like
Dial of
Indiana
Destiny-
Jones is still fucking cool. I watched
people
I watched
5
Raiders
years
of the
younger
Lost
than
Ark
us
like
don't
2
give a
weeks
fuck
ago.
about Indiana Jones.
You good?
That's not true. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
accurate.
think you're exaggerating, but
That's not
I
true.
see where you're coming from, Chris Davis.
People like
I don't
it,
think that movie is going to move the needle one way or the other for this game. But here's the thing: no matter how good Wolfenstein was, and I think it's an amazing game. I don't know. I don't think it's printing money for Microsoft.
No.
They make great games, and I
Hell,
hope
even
Indiana
the studios
Jones.
that are printing money for
Even if that
Microsoft.
Indiana Jones game comes out and it's like a 75, it's like a solid licensed movie tie-in kind of thing that occasionally surprises us. Like if it comes out and it's that, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I hope it's better. But like one way or the other, even if it's a massive critical success, I don't see it being a massive financial success. So sure, I would be worried about Machine Games as well. So I totally feel you there. Also,
I think
the worst part about like remember I said a while ago like now Microsoft just suddenly owns all this IP and the people that created it's gone.
Yeah.
The worst like they could be if they needed to like save money and whatnot for their investors and stock prices and whatnot, they could be like selling these studios off to other people who would love to have them, but
That's
instead
another fucking thing.
they're closing them down so they
But
can
then that's
retain the
competition,
IP.
Nick. Exactly. They don't want to.
It's-
They don't want to give up on the thing they paid for.
Which
That way,
is
no one else can make it.
it's fucked up, and they're not gonna make it anyways.
Nope.
It just doesn't make fucking sense, especially Tango when we talk about selling off versus closing. Like Tango was Microsoft's one fucking in with the entire Japanese game market, for which they have done shittily ever since they existed. Okay? They could have made a deal. Can you imagine if Capcom bought Tango? Tango tomorrow.
What are you
could have been
talking
working on
about? What are we
fucking
talking
Resident
about?
Evil.
That was
Okay, well,
never
okay.
gonna happen. That's not like
Yeah, now we're getting into
You're-
like what ifs.
Yeah,
and
this is
you gotta be
weird.
careful. That's a slippery slope. But
What
I
if
see
the
what you're saying.
Nazis had won World War II?
Look, I'm just saying that these ninth hour rescue scenarios have happened before. One of the studios we're
So
talking
few and
about
far
tonight
between.
is one of those stories.
So why don't we move on? Right?
You
I think
You think Phil just like gets off on it? You think he's just like, oh, this will piss everyone off? Oh yeah, yeah, close it, close Tango GameWorks. I don't care what I said last year, close it.
I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and just say yes. I
Yes.
think that's accurate.
That's sick
Um,
perv.
Sick bastards. So yeah, Microsoft, Xbox, they're in deep shit right now because I think they've just lost most, if not all, of their goodwill that they've been struggling to cling on to for a long time. I'm
And guess
sure
what?
we'll have
They
more
have
to
their
say about
fucking
this.
June event where they're going to show off the future of Xbox for the next 18 to 24 months. Like,
They're gonna have
that's
gonna
going to be a
have some-
fucking albatross hanging around their neck. Like,
there is going to have to be multiple miracles happening at that event to like distract people from the fact that they just killed some beloved studios. And
Unless you guys like own a shit ton of stock in Microsoft, I don't think they give a fuck what you think.
I fucking
Like-
don't.
that's true. That's true. Look, we're gonna revisit this again. I'm sure Brad hasn't had a chance to sound off on it officially.
Oh, do you
so-
think he has opinions about this?
Oh, I'm sure Brad has
No.
opinions. Brad always has opinions.
Do you think he has
Um,
something to say?
So why don't we move on? let's. I do want to talk a little bit about something a little bit lighter. There's been some nice Helldivers 2 news. I don't know if y'all been
You
paying
could say
attention.
that.
The other
Oh, yeah.
fucking shit stain of a. Oh my god.
Like,
I hate it.
We're not going to talk about this nearly as long
Whatever.
as Xbox.
Well, no,
but
because
This one
it's
I'm not
resolved.
invested in. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like,
Uh,
you want me to
Oh,
run through it?
God.
I'll tell you what
No,
fucking
no.
happened.
No, look, 10,000 foot view. If y'all don't want to discuss it in depth, that's fine. 10,000 foot
Everyone's favorite fun meme game made them mad for a weekend.
view. Yeah.
And just a fucking weekend. So, long story short, 10,000
It's
foot view. PlayStation tried to force on Arrowhead in the community that starting next month, you would be required to have a PlayStation account linked to your Arrowhead account in order to play the game. This
Now, pause.
immediately resulted in not only a
We
cascade.
need to go to Nick's pause real quick.
Pause real quick. I mean, you're right. That is not inaccurate. I just wanted to slide this question in right here, and there's multiple answers to this, I'm sure. Why? What the fuck? Why? Because
Sony wants their
Any-
fucking
Why
data.
not?
but look, Sony.
No, that's 100% why.
The thing I think the biggest thing to come out of all of this, because yes, we're gonna go on to describe this for a second, and the end result is people got mad, they backed down, this is no longer happening. So it's kind of a moot point.
Didn't Arrowhead come out and say at one point they were like, "Oh, this was always the way it was
Correct.
supposed to
They
be.
said it was supposed to
we
be
cut
this way
it
from the
because we were scrambling so hard
Right.
to launch the game when."
And the argument
It
now
blew
is
up.
that if it had launched like this, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But the fact that it hasn't been this way, and now they're trying to reverse it after the fact, after people have been playing it, you can't do that. You can't. That's out of order. You can't do it that way.
No.
But I think that what this illustrates, and what's kind of scary, and this also can be mirrored to Microsoft as well, is that it shows you just how out of touch with the gaming community at large the people higher up the ladder are, which we all knew, right? But you also most people would probably like to assume that people that are in positions of power within these companies at least have an idea of what their fucking market is and what people think or feel about their industry. This clearly illustrates that they do not, because anybody who knows anything about this industry should have looked at that idea, that decision, and been like, this is going to cost us way too much goodwill that it's not even worth attempting. Because
it was
that's
going to
exactly
cost
what
them
happened.
fucking money, because the PlayStation Network online compatibility is only available in 30 countries. So
This
the game,
was-
as soon as they made the announcement, they had to remove from sale Helldivers in 180 fucking countries.
177.
Yeah,
But yes, it is
177
ridiculous.
countries delisted the game. That is obviously going to undo itself now that this has been retracted, but it hasn't. I think as of right now, that hasn't officially happened
So-
yet. It's still delisted.
There's
in a lot of
Steam
those countries.
reviews.
So here's the
still
bigger question
fun.
about that, and this is why, to Chris, to your point earlier about them saying, "Oh, this was always the goal, the idea, whatever." Then why was it ever available in those 177 countries?
Well,
If it was always intended to only be accessible to people with PlayStation Network access, why is it available in somewhere that doesn't have PlayStation Network access?
I do think if that had been the case, if the game at launch was being certified with that feature, it just never would have been listed in the first place in those countries. They probably listed it when they realized that was not going to be. I think most people in this industry would look at this and say, if it's not available like that at launch, they're not going to do it post-launch because that would not make any fucking sense. So I think it's safe to proceed.
Yeah.
The higher ups clearly didn't realize that or something, or they thought the blowback wouldn't be nearly as severe, but it was severe. It was
They
very
chose the
severe.
wrong
And-
community to fuck with.
Look,
Winged's X Tools Zatol whatever in chat because money, and it's one of those things where I was listening to a podcast the other week about like drug companies or pharmaceutical companies or even big industry companies. Look, they'll do something that they know is against regulation, but if they can do it for long enough that they don't get caught, they make more money than it costs them in fines.
Mhm.
They thought, hey, we list this shit in every country, even though we know 177 won't actually have access later. We rake in a bunch of money, and then, you know, well, fuck those people that can't access it anymore going forward.
Right.
We'll be in the clear, but they didn't. Yeah, I don't think they realized how much backlash they were going to get.
I think the
Mm.
decision for that was probably pretty high up, and that I don't think that was
Well,
at the.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
pretty
think.
awful.
The
It's pretty
studio. I think the studio had a pretty immediate like, please don't make us do this because that's
It's
not a good idea.
very yeah. I mean, this is very much a Sony thing, and they
Steam-
suck.
oh, yes.
And this is a
Slade
bad
points
thing.
out.
This is bad for them to do. This is like obviously an abuse of their customer base. It
Right.
sucks.
Yeah, very much.
It's only slightly more embarrassing than everybody tweeting for democracy and major order achieved on Twitter after they pulled it back.
Yeah.
Like the Steam reviews, everyone's like, major order completed. We dive together. Not at all. Like, you guys are a bunch of fucking dorks, and I don't care what happens to you.
That is a good point.
Accurate.
So,
But
worth
their
noting-
Steam reviews are still fucked. Like,
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
I don't know if
still
it's ever
only
gonna
mostly
recover.
positive. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
I was listening to a podcast earlier and it was pointed out. I haven't verified this myself, but it sounds like because there was a lot of people in the Helldivers 2 community on Reddit apparently did a lot of like coordination to try and to like do a campaign to kind of like force their hand, right? And part of this was obviously coordinating a review bomb on Steam.
Mhm.
And apparently after they made the decision to retract, it sounds like they are encouraging people who went and review bombed it to remove those reviews.
Yes.
I don't know how. That's one of those things. Like I don't know how much toothpaste you can get back in the tube after that, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
Monkey don't go back in the bottle.
Yeah.
Only
I
comes
think the
out.
number was close to like 4,000 review bombs, and then 2,500 plus have since redacted. So they're making
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think after a while, this is not.
I'm sure the game will be fine. Like,
Yes, the
people
game
aren't
will be
gonna like
fine.
not be buying it because
It'll
it's
be fine.
its Steam reviews are fucked up. Whatever.
At the end of the day, this is nowhere
But
near
listen,
as
I have-
traumatic as
I-
Xbox's. thing.
like, I 100% support consumers and the proletariat taking hold of whatever means are given to them to hold the corporate overlords to bear, but can we just like not be so fucking embarrassing about it? Like,
Oh,
I
that's
think it's a
the
reason-
human condition. It's
I think
impossible
that's a
not to be.
reasonable request. I think that's a reasonable request.
I don't
Um,
know. This is our species.
I don't know.
Interesting side note
It's
here.
fun to shout democracy.
Yeah.
It sure is. I don't know what it is about it, but it works.
Maybe that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Is that it's
Interesting
fun.
side note here. So the PC port of the samurai game by
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima comes out in 2 weeks.
Right.
The single player campaign was announced to not require a PSN account, but the
Right.
Legends cooperative multiplayer does require a PSN account.
And there's two big differences. One, I mean, I think that kind of makes sense, especially if it's at launch, right? It's a PlayStation game.
Yes,
It's a multiplayer thing.
It makes
it's an
sense
ecosystem.
at launch.
It makes sense at launch. I really don't think that. I mean, as long as you're doing that kind of thing right out of the gate and being upfront about it, I don't think anybody's going to have a problem. It's really when you try to fuck with people. It's like once you give like food to someone and they're like in the middle of eating it, you can't just suddenly yank it away from them and be like, no more. Like, like that's what they're trying to do essentially. So I don't think Ghost of Tsushima is going to have a problem. And honestly, the people who have not played Ghost of Tsushima yet, who are going to have a chance to play it on PC, people are going to that for the single player. We'll see what happens with the multiplayer.
And they're going to
but,
have
like,
a fucking great time.
They're going to win. They're going to get a lot more goodwill back from that because people are going to be very excited that game is finally coming to PC. So whatever. That's
God,
neither
the
here nor
modding
there.
fucking scene ought to be fucking awesome.
It should be pretty cool. All right. Sorry, we don't need to talk anymore about Helldivers 2. And in fact, we're not even really a news show. We try not to talk about news a lot. This just today seems pretty important.
What news?
Yeah, I know. This is pretty unusual for us, I would say.
Well, you want to just go ahead and
So-
knock out our last news item?
We're not.
I'll save that. I was the only one who really wanted to talk about that. I'll just make it my 4-player minute.
What was it?
Okay.
I mean,
I'll
unless
have to
It'll
wait
be in
for
his
the
4-player
minute.
minute.
I would.
yeah,
like
I'll
to
talk.
about
It's
it,
not a
but
lot.
okay.
I'll talk
Alright,
about 4-player.
fine.
And you can
You can talk about it in
can-
his 4-player minute.
Yeah, exactly. We do that all the time, anyways. But real quick, I just want to get. I have one game I want to talk about. I want to get. This won't take long.
Mm.
So impressions, real quick impressions.
I
I
can go over
played
a real
through.
quick impression too.
I played through Indica. If you.
Oh,
Oh,
how is it? Is it
yeah.
cool? Is it
It's
fun?
it's fun is maybe a.
Oh, Nicholas.
Subjective.
Well, no, I mean I don't think fun was ever part of the equation. For,
It's not
for a
supposed to be
game like
fun,
this.
obviously.
It's not even. It's not even a game that really has mechanics,
Mm-mm.
right? Except for the footage you're watching that I chose to start with.
Yeah, like-
strictly
Oh,
for
it's
the.
not very
What?
long either, is it? Huh?
Yeah. So the footage you're watching is like an actual mini game within the game
What?
that has mechanics. There are story moments in this game, right? So first of all, this is the game. This is the nun
Oh,
game,
shit.
right? It's the game about a nun who is possessed by a demon or the devil, and she is on a
As
she
one does.
falls into a situation where she is traveling with this man who is a criminal who claims he can talk to God, right? So the whole thing is like she's trying to help him, but she's also trying to like find a way to rid herself of this possession. So she's traveling with him, but throughout the story, you're kind of like finding out why because she's at a monastery, right? Everybody at the monastery, all the other nuns, they do not like her. They hate her, and you don't really know why.
Not
So
very
it's
good nuns.
yeah, so you're finding out little bits and pieces about her past and going on this mission with this other guy or whatever, and that's kind of the main story. Throughout the story, you're finding out bits and pieces about her past, and that's where this comes in. If you're watching the footage,
These
it's like
are flashbacks.
yeah, it's like a 2D side-scrolling, like retro pixel style platformer. Where you're collecting coins, and it like this little mini game takes all of about 5 minutes, and it's just basically she's sneaking out of her bedroom window at night, and she's climbing up to the roof to meet a guy, and
Classic
you're like,
nun behavior.
but like it's a silly like platformer where, like when you jump on like a windowsill, like the whole window kind of moves and it becomes like a silly like 2D platformer, whatever. There's like multiple of these things throughout the game. I just wanted to show off one of them in this footage because it's very unexpected. And like the weirdest thing about this game is how it like blends like photorealism with these like super retro style. There's like multiple of these and they all have different mechanics. In fact, the only mechanics, quote unquote, in the game outside of like solving some kind of like logic puzzles in the environments are these, and like they're little homages to other styles of games. Like there's one, I'm not even kidding, Nolan. There's like a homage to Crypt of the Necrodancer.
What?
Maybe that's not even maybe that's not specifically what they were going for, but like a lot of people when I was streaming this were like, "Oh shit, this is like Crypt of the Necrodancer," kind of.
Interesting.
So
But even like I'm looking at a playthrough right now, and in the realistic section, she like picked up a book and read it, and then it like went "Bloop," and like blew up like it's in a Mega Man game or something.
The weirdest thing about this game is how it blends the photorealism with like when you're actually walking around as Indica and it's like looks all photorealistic, is like you pick things up and it like you read like journals and stuff or like religious artifacts, and it like gives you points, and you see like a meter, like a level, like you're about to level up. No fuck, like the entire game you're like, well, what the fuck does this do? There's no mechanics, there's no combat. What the fuck am I leveling up? And like every time you reach a point in that meter, it's like you have to make a decision. You can either go grief or repentance, and if you go grief, you get 10 points right now. But if you go repentance, you have a chance to get five times the points every time you get points. And it's like, okay, but what the fuck do the points do? And it never tells you. But it's always coincides with like little retro sound effects and like.
Wait, it never
pixel
tells
style.
you, like, even after finishing the game, you don't know what they're for?
Well, there is a moment in there's like the final moment of the game. I wouldn't want to spoil it, but people who watch me stream know what I'm talking about. There's a moment where like kind of all the points kind of come into play, but it's supposed to be it's designed in such a way to make you kind of like realize
That they're
points don't fucking
pointless.
matter. The points are pointless. They don't fucking
Like
matter.
religion and God.
Actually,
Exactly.
actually, maybe I don't know.
Cough, cough. Nudge, nudge.
Now, I'll say this: this game
That's
has a
cool.
lot of style. It has I think it says some pretty thought provoking stuff. And it's fairly short. I finished it in like 5 hours. But what I
okay.
will say is the kind of like the coolest thing it has going for it was like shown off in the demo, where she's walking around, the devil's whispering in her ear. So like she'll just be walking around, and he's like asking you questions about like morality and like making you think about like people always talk about fairness, but if an apple tree has like 50 apples, but another apple tree has 100, is that fair? That kind of thing. And
What?
sorry, hold on one second.
Define fair.
My headphones just like turned themselves off for some reason. Say something.
Hello.
Something.
Hold
Mic
on.
check. Hello.
I think it came back.
Ba, 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 ba.
I guess Nick's headset is
Crap,
having
hold on, I can't hear you
none
guys.
of it.
What?
Somebody
What'd you
talk
say?
for a second. Vent.
What?
Vent.
Nick, what'd you say?
We're venting. We're venting.
Okay,
Were we
vamp. I
done
think he
talking
means
about-
Vamping. Vamping.
Yeah, he
means
did. He
vamping.
did. Vamp. Are we done talking about Indica? Because if
Are
Nick's
we done
fixing his
talking about
headset,
now that Nick's
I can
gone?
talk about my game real quick.
What's your game, Nolan? Hey, Nolan, why don't you tell us
it's
about the game you've been playing?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Crispy, you might be interested in it.
Wait,
We can-
Nolan, hang on a second. Nick's back. Go ahead, Nick.
Everything's happening at once. My
Taco.
fucking cat is like, let me in the room. My headphones are turning themselves off. Anyways, sorry.
What is this giant fish oven you're in?
What the hell is this?
She's in a fish. She's in like a fish factory.
This fucking fish.
Oh, where
straps
they make
going
the
on.
fishes, yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
whole, you probably can't hear it, but in the like, if you were to have audio on in the footage, it's playing like retro style, like pixely music right now as I'm like trying to like
All
move
the-
side to side to dodge
All the
fish.
text is pixely and
Yeah. It's such a weird thing. And that's what I was trying to say before my headphones rudely interrupted me. Is like the coolest thing about this game is how it juxtaposes all these like retro and like photorealistic style things and how weird and crazy and outlandish it is. But like my problem with it is it at the end of the day it doesn't go far enough. Like in the demo, like the coolest thing they do in the demo is this: there's a mechanic where you walk into this barn and there's this giant cow hooked up to this like weird thing, and all of a sudden something happens in the story, and all of a sudden everything turns red and the world kind of breaks into pieces, and like suddenly like all the platforms that you would normally use to walk across this barn kind of like separate out. But when you can hold down the left trigger and she'll start praying, so she'll literally like put her hands together and she starts like whispering like a prayer to herself, and everything, like the red goes away, the world kind of comes back together, and as long as you're holding that button, you can traverse the barn normally. But then you have to let go of the trigger, and everything goes back to craziness, and suddenly you can traverse in different ways. And so you have to kind of like do that off and on and off and on to kind of get to this area. And I was like, that was really fucking cool. And while you're doing it, when you're not praying, the devil is like whispering in your ear and saying crazy shit. And I was like, this is really cool. They do that once in the entire game.
Like
And
the
that
devil's
is-
like gay marriage.
Jesus.
Exactly.
I mean,
But
it,
yeah,
it sounds like what you're describing is a game with a bunch of very disparate ideas that
Bunch of
It's
they
they're
kind
not
of
even
run into
disparate
at the same
ideas.
Is
They're not
the-
even disparate ideas. Like it feels cohesive. Like the weird thing is like all the stuff works. Like all the
Yeah.
weird music, the juxtaposition of the graphics and everything. Like it all works. It just doesn't lean enough into it. Like
You know
when you're
what?
walking around the factory, it starts to feel like Little Nightmares. Like why are all these fish so big? Like why are all these people look all creepy and weird, and like this is giving me serious Little Nightmares vibes, and I love Little Nightmares. But then like it's over and they never do it again, and it's just they don't go hard enough. I want it to go.
You know-
It's
you know
weird. I
what?
want it to go super fucking weird.
You know what, Nick? You have convinced me. I wasn't going to play this, and now I will. And I
Well-
want to talk about it after I've played it.
Okay.
Crispy, before you play that, maybe you'd be interested in my
Oh,
game.
yeah, of course. All right, Nick, shut up. Nolan, what game have you been playing?
So to briefly cover it, it is a roguelike deck builder.
Oh, you son of a! I know what
Uh-oh.
you're gonna say.
What do you know what I'm gonna say, Nick?
I know.
It's
Well, I know
called
because every time
Slay
you
the
play it, it pops
Spire.
up on my on my Steam Deck, and I know you've been balls deep in Balatro for a long time.
It's not
Spoilers.
Balatro, but I have been playing Balatro still because it's easy to just do in the background. So, Crispy, the game is called Roguelike Deck Builder.
Is
What?
it really?
Yep.
Sounds like it's truth in advertising.
And so you have been, I guess, captured, and in order to escape, you need to earn $1 million, and
As
you
one
earn $1
does.
million by building decks, like a
Like-
patio deck.
Oh,
Okay,
You're
all right.
upgrading your hammer and your nails, and
What
The-
is
the
this
light-
on?
so it's on itch.io. It's like
Oh.
$2 on itch.io, and so I got it. And you like upgrading your hammer, you're upgrading the nails. Like there's like bugs that come around, and if you squash them, you get money. You can upgrade those. The light keeps going out, so you got to upgrade that. But the whole thing
Please
is you're
tell
just trying to
me.
earn $1 million. What's up?
Please tell me that the base gameplay is based off having a hand of cards and playing them in order to actually build your deck.
No, you
No,
hold a nail and you hold a hammer.
It's
and
a
you
first-person
smash
hammer
nails.
game. Oh my
Yes.
god, it's a hammer. Oh, dude, this art style is fucking weird. What
And
is
you
this?
you literally just like use the mouse to kind of like slam the hammer down, and early on like you really have to hit it hard, and if you miss you'll hit your hand and it's ouch, and you have to pay like $1 to help to fix your hand or whatever.
Are
I
you
love
showing
this.
footage
I
of this?
fucking
This
love
looks
this.
so weird.
I'm not showing footage currently, but
I
you
am
can-
husband. We are improving home. You build the deck. You will get money.
Yeah. So yeah,
And then-
that's like the guy who you're like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they've like captured you or whatever. There's not a whole lot of story.
I'm posting the
Um,
link in chat to the
Please.
itch page. Look at it. It's weird.
It's
Looking
pretty
now.
cool.
Oh, this
Um,
is fucking. What a weird.
It almost looks like that. What was that fucking postmodern RPG?
Which one?
It looks. It almost like the screenshots almost make it look like it's claymation.
Yeah.
It kind of has a claymation feel a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, come on. You know that the really weird looking one. The first one people didn't like it, and then the second it's not that old. Oh my god. Oh my god. I keep wanting to say Skrillex, and that's not it.
That's not.
Stylix?
Maybe
I'm
somebody
not sure.
can save you.
Helix? Hylix? Stylix?
Come on, chat. I know somebody in chat
Oh
knows what
my
Crispy's
god,
talking
somebody
about.
knows what I'm talking about.
Hades.
Hylix says persuade.
Hylix. Yeah. Hylix RPG. Hylix.
Somebody
That's
took
it. That's
a
it.
Blender course at their local community college and got about halfway through before they quit.
Yeah, Hylix.
Oh
is
no,
what-
they got at least 3/4. But no, it's pretty good. I mean, like I said, for like a little $2 game,
Oh, yuck. Maybe
you're building the deck, and it is a roguelike deck builder.
God, there's so much about this game that is just so Nolan.
Yeah.
So Nolan. Like, not only is it a silly like dad joke play on words, but like it's about building a deck.
Yeah.
I
Nolan's into
definitely
building stuff. Nolan likes to build stuff. Made for him. I think
Brett,
Nolan made this game. I think Nolan secretly
I
made
wish.
this game.
that
Dude,
would be
I
so
wish I was
lame if
smart
that's what's
enough
going on.
to have
Are
come up
you
with
Gil
this.
Lawson?
I wish I was smart enough to have come up with something like this, because I do know Blender a little bit, and I did try my hand at doing some slight like point and click adventure game development when I was in school. I built like a it was for my final project in one of my classes. I did it was like Pong, but 3D mixed with Breakout or Brick Break, whatever that game was called, where you have like the bricks or whatever.
Yeah,
And the whole
Breakout.
point of it was two people on either side. It was a multiplayer game, and you wanted to break the ball through the bricks, which was like 3 or 4 layers, and get
Right.
it to the other side. But then it became Pong once you got it past it. But yeah, it was one of those things. So I have done some stuff, but like if I would have come up with something like you said, just the fact that it's a pun on the roguelike deck builder like thing. Like as soon as you heard me say I'm playing a roguelike deck builder, $1 million, you would not have guessed what I was
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
such a brilliant,
now that I think-
unintentional-
Now that I think back on it, I can hear the snicker in your voice, like, they're gonna fall for my little trick.
that was such a brilliant and unintentional, just like pull the rug
Yeah.
for me, like
Yeah.
because I was like, I've been watching. It's like Infamous Nolan is playing Balatro. And it's
Balatro?
like popping up, and I was like, he's really getting into Balatro right now. I was like, he said
I'm
deck
still
builder. I was
playing
like, he's
Balatro.
playing Balatro. He's gonna talk about Balatro. Nope.
I tell you what,
nice
though.
surprise.
Brad more than likely has stopped listening and has gone off to do other things. Like, his birthday was yesterday. This might make an excellent gift for him.
Huh? He likes
You know
deck
how he
builders.
likes a deck builder.
He does.
He does.
Roguelike
He does
deck builder.
indeed.
Good point. Okay.
That's it.
Any other quick mentions, impressions wise, before we wrap it up? Right.
I made another mistake and
Ah, you
did
got
not
stuff.
play Star Ocean like I intended to. And I instead started the remake of System Shock because it went on sale.
Yes, that's not a mistake, dude. That game's so good.
No, absolutely. It's been really good so far. I have complaints, but that's a whole other thing. The mistake is I should have got started on that JRPG I intended to play and have been intending to play for like 6 months.
There is no law that says you have to play it now. Let me tell you, System Shock. Oh my god, I love that remake so much.
Really good.
It made my top 10 last year. I was like there's no universe where this game doesn't make my top 10 last year because that was such an impressive remake.
Yes.
One of the few Kickstarters that I supported and played when it fucking came out. Like, it feels good, man. It feels good. I still haven't gotten my copy of Iodine Craft. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyways.
Oh, well, I mean, check your backer emails. Maybe it's there. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I'm currently on the executive deck trying to figure out how to jettison some of the groves.
Yeah. Oh, you're pretty far then.
I guess I don't know really. The problem
I think
is
it's
that's
like
the
three-
thing
it's
about
like
this game is
three-quarters.
that you can't tell how far along in the game you are because it is so explicit on not reminding you about things.
Dude, it doesn't hold your hand. It is a
No, it doesn't.
It is as far as like immersive sims go, it is like the least handholdy immersive sim I've ever played.
Like you've got to be fucking paying attention to every audio log, every email that comes in to find out what you're supposed to fucking do in the game. There is no way to track objectives, where items are. Like, it's you and a fucking map. Good luck.
And you do eventually. I eventually got to the point where I kind of like learned the layout of the space station pretty well. I feel like so like even if you get lost, you can do a pretty good job of like if you poke around enough, you'll eventually find something that will like put you back on the on track. But it is not a game I would recommend starting and stopping because it could make it way more painful than it needs to be. But if you stick with it, man, it's great.
It's been really good. I like Shodan as a protagonist or antagonist.
Is this your first time playing System Shock?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I never played the original, I never played System Shock 2. My first Shock experience was BioShock.
Yeah, mine too. But
yeah. I mean,
man, I really hope that they give System Shock 2 the same treatment because this is excellent. And System Shock 2 I hear is even better. It's the beloved one. Like that's the one I really want to play. But this was a great
But
throwback.
System Shock 2 got an enhanced edition a couple years ago. It's in
but
a
it
good
ain't-
enough state to play. Like,
it ain't this.
I understand that. I'm just saying, like, it's time. Now that they're done with this, it's time to try doubling down again on System Shock 3.
This is just a different studio.
Night Dive, though, right?
No, I don't
It's
think
not?
so. No.
I mean, I remember Warren the Spectre being attached
Yeah,
to
but
one of them.
that's not Night Dive. Somebody in chat confirm, please. I'm pretty sure System Shock 3 and also I'll hot dog bet I don't think System Shock 3 ever sees the light of day. I hope I'm wrong, but I think they're just kind of hoping people forget that was announced. But yeah, I'm pretty sure System Shock 3 ain't Night Dive.
Well, maybe Night Dive needs to acquire the assets 2, 3, and maybe go ahead and do it.
It was Night Dive? Okay, there's no way. There's no fucking way. Anyways, that's neither
feel
here
like
nor
that's
there.
what it was, yeah. Either way, yeah, fucking do it.
It ain't the same team that made System Shock 1 though. If it's still Night Dive, it's two separate studios within Night Dive, and the other studio is being run by
Fucking
Warren
put them
Spector.
on it, man. Let them
We'll see
fucking
what
do
happens.
it.
Okay.
They just put out their Dark Forces remaster, which is evidently doing pretty well. Like, have your remaster team just do whatever the fuck they want, but also like, it's time to work on System Shock again.
We'll see what happens. Is there any Fantasy Critic stuff to talk about tonight, or should we just kind of blow on past that? I did pick up 7 points for Indica. Let me tell you, that game had a 14-point swing. It came out of the gate at 63, ended up at 77.
Wow.
So
That indie
That's
tax.
a lot.
Well, Carlos. Okay, so this was technically 3 days ago. Brad
pickups?
tried to grab Dread Delusion and Crypt Master, but Carlos outbid him for both.
damn.
Yeah. So Carlos, is he almost full? Let me look.
Carlos is almost full, I think, and
No, he's got 4 spots left.
oh yeah, wait, yeah, those are actually the first 2 things that he's actually been on, but he has Animal Well on his list, and reviews for Animal Well drop tomorrow.
Okay.
And you know, Brad's pretty confident that Animal Well is going to be like a Game of the Year contender.
Oh, dude,
it's going to pull in some big...
it's for sure. That the Animal Well was
Yeah.
like it was. I was going to bid on it, but it was one of those things where there was just a few things before that I wanted to bid on first, and you know that's how the draft works. All of
Yeah.
a sudden, 6 people choose between you and your next one. Animal Well was 100% one of my top ones.
I have a
think it's
feeling
going to be
we'll be-
really good.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll be talking about that next week.
Oh, for sure.
I'm paying attention to it now. I wasn't before, ever since we watched the trailer on Trailer Talk, and we talked a little bit more about it, and I got to know more about it. I'm pretty into it. It looks really, really neat. So, fingers crossed. We'll see. Well, you know, not fingers crossed for Carlos and his points, but I do want it to be a good game. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's wrap up with the 4-player minute. Nolan, would you like to start?
I can.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. So I've been, as Nick said, playing Balatro still. It's something that's easy to do. Life has been crazy over here for me
Crazy.
lately. A lot going on, and just
Mhm.
sometimes it's easy to turn your brain off. I am not ashamed or not sweaty or whatever, but it's just like the fact that there are a lot of games this year I've not played or started and not finished because it takes a bit of like effort. Dragon's Dogma 2 being one of them. Every second of that game I have played, I have loved, but it's a little more difficult to sit down and play a session of Dragon's Dogma than it is to play like a couple of hands of Balatro.
For sure.
And so I've been finding myself kind of finding those like kind of bite-sized things that I can easily consume and then kind of go about my day, just because too much going on.
It's better right now.
Yeah, for sure. But that being said, like Nick said, Animal Well is coming out. There are other games that are coming out that I'm definitely like going to play, and I'm hoping that things settle down a little bit. We're at the 1 year mark of our of moving here, and so
It's already been a
there's-
year?
Yeah.
it's just shy of a year. Where the home, we
I swear to
closed
God,
on it
Nolan, I
about
feel
a
like
year
you
ago.
moved like 4 months ago.
Nope, it's about a year now. And so there's lots going on with that. We got to, it's a newer house, so there's lots of things to kind of do at the 1 year mark. Then builder coming in to fix things and whatever, and trying to coordinate with stuff and plan things. I've just been very kind of busy. But yeah,
I'm fearing that
looking
period to start
forward-
for me pretty soon.
when you have especially a newer house, there's just like so many little things to do here and there. And now that it's springtime, like I'm doing a bunch of yard work again, because unfortunately I'm an old man and I like to do my own yard work. I don't like paying someone because they don't do a good enough job. So I end
Yeah.
up spending a lot of time doing yard work. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I've been busy doing stuff, and so I've been trying to find those bite-sized games that I can just and so Balatro is my current one still, and I'm still unlocking new decks and new cards and stuff in it. And even when I'm doing runs where I'm not unlocking anything, I'm still enjoying it.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've still to this day yet to hit like one of those like quintillion whatever runs. Like I've only ever gotten to like I think I got to ante 13 once, but that's as far as I've gotten. So I'm still trying though.
Cool.
Good game.
Cool beans. All right, Crispy.
Well, how about I talk
cooking?
more about Destiny because that's all I've been
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, but let's see. Since last time we spoke, they have released another new activity called Pantheon, which is a like remix of past raids. So it's like they take 4 different raid bosses and put them together, and then every week they add another one onto it. So today they added a 5th boss, and then next week is going to be a 6th, and then it stays there until Final Shape comes out. What's really cool about this is that it's like it's old like kind of favorite bosses. It's a new way and an easier way to get access to like exotics and things like that you would normally only earn from like completing the raid. And I think they even have like a uh like a selector or something. It's like you can interact with a vendor at the end and kind of buy specific exotics you want instead of trying to get drops on them. It's really cool. It's fun. It's really hard, and it's I'm not much of an end game content guy, but I try. It's pretty nice that they're adding all this like new challenging high end content and new ways to get stuff. The other big thing with Destiny is that they just announced today that they are making everything from the last year, or I'm sorry, so like the last 3 expansions and the last 4 seasons are all free now on
They want to
PlayStation
get that
Plus.
player base back up before the
Yeah.
Final Shape.
Until Final Shape comes out. So if you're on PlayStation Plus, you
But
could.
didn't you just finish telling me a couple weeks ago that like getting into Destiny,
dude,
at this point it's probably just best to wait for Destiny 3?
Well, here's the thing. And I told my roommate this because he was like kind of waffling back and forth about playing with me, and I was like, the biggest obstacle to me recommending somebody play Destiny right now is the fact that you'd have to buy like $100 in content to have access to everything.
Right.
To like grind out the new season, to play the previous expansions, to get like some of the subclasses. Like
That's not the case anymore.
But that's not the case anymore.
Okay.
That price
Gotcha.
just evaporated. So
Okay.
I mean,
I don't hate the idea. Here's the deal, though. One way or the other, when does Final Shape come out?
first week of June, something.
Okay.
June 6th.
First week
like
of
that.
June, Crispy.
June 3rd.
You're bringing Destiny footage, and it's Final Shape footage.
You know what?
game
I will do that. I will bring Final Shape footage. I'll figure it out. I come hell or high water.
Alrighty.
My word is my bond.
No, I am curious enough. Like I feel like the barrier to entry on Destiny 2 now is like low enough that like maybe I should just fucking try it. What's the worst that could happen? I don't like it, and then I don't have to keep going,
It's
or maybe
weird.
I love it, and I just now I have all this free content to plow through.
I think your experience with it would be similar to something like Monster Hunter, where it's like you play that like base set of content, and you're like, that was really cool, had fun with that, and then like you leave, which is fine. It's fine. But
it's fine. Okay. Well, you never know.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see what it looks like in a month.
All right, cool. Chris Davis, you're up.
You're
pouring another shot.
Wow.
Look at the. Oh. All right, dab for me. I'm just kidding.
Never. Anyway.
Looks like it went down smooth.
This would be a lot better if it was cold still. Wow.
Oh, God. You just took like a lukewarm shot of vodka?
Well, it's been sitting out my desk for 2 hours now.
All right.
My final thought is fuck all video game publishers forever. No developer is safe now. If you don't sell more than 5 million copies, you might as well just start packing your fucking bags now. As you can tell, I'm a little bitter. I was blindsided by this fucking news about Xbox and all that this morning. The only saving grace for me is that Arcane Leon didn't get shut down too. And they're only
Yeah,
fucking
no.
still alive, I think, because
Of Marvel,
they've
They
got
were
the
because they're
deal with Disney for fucking Blade.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm still very excited
Yeah.
about.
Oh
But,
shit.
like, let's be honest. When Blade comes out, they could be on the chopping block after.
Yeah.
Or
If
maybe
your
they'll be on the
game,
chopping block. Maybe they'll cut the cord before they even get too far in that, because that's still pretty early in development, I think.
that
But
game's
Deathloop
not
was
coming out
pretty-
for at least 3 or 4 years.
Was
easily.
Deathloop pretty successful financially?
It did okay.
Yeah.
The exclusiveness to it didn't help.
It's
I mean,
like, I'm surprised like that's not the direction they're like just pivoting. Like I'm surprised they're not just like fine. Exclusivity be damned. We want our games to be profitable. Like let's put everything everywhere. Like I feel like that would be the smart.
From my understanding, it sold over 5 million copies. This is just me doing a quick Google. So I mean that's a moderate to big success.
That sounds good to me, but apparently not to them.
Not to fucking Xbox and their fucking stockholders that don't give a shit. They just want to see their stock price go up.
Sure. They
The
do like money.
the in-shitification of this industry and how we treat
what?
developers is fucking
Did you call-
absurd.
Did you say the in-shitification?
Yes.
In
okay.
shitified.
You never heard of the term in-shitification?
No, that's a new one.
Look it up. It's used to describe the internet, and it is a thing.
Okay.
It's just like, I remember when Resident Evil 6 came out, that game sold like, 8-9 million copies? And that was considered a fucking failure by Capcom?
Yeah.
Like, that sounded fucking outlandish at the time. That didn't seem like anything fucking...
I always think of Tomb Raider. Square Enix's
Tomb Raider as well. Like, they
expectations.
expected 7 million copies out of fucking Tomb Raider. It didn't get half of that. But it did fucking well. And, like,
Yeah.
now these publishers have such fucking high expectations for these games that they're helping publish. Not even fucking develop, they're helping publish.
The expectations are unsustainable. I feel like that's something
It's fucking unsustainable. There's no
inevitably those
reason.
expectations will eventually start having to fall more in line with realistic ideas, and I think that's ultimately going to end up having like, or at least the hope is that it's ultimately going to start having an impact on like the scope and size of games to make them more reasonable. But like they're gonna have people are going to have to be dragged kicking and screaming into that reality.
Their sales expectations don't factor in the cost of a project to develop it, the cost of marketing that project, the long-term sustained support that they want for a infinite money machine, which is never going to happen because 2/3 of their player base that they could market to are playing games that came out 6 years ago or later. Like, they're playing their fucking Fortnites and things like that. You're not going to grab them. Stop fucking trying.
Oh, who was it? Oh, it was EA today. EA apparently in a in an interview or an investor call or something. And I apologize. I don't remember who it was they were speaking to specifically, but I guess maybe it's who's the head of EA right now?
John Riccatello.
Is it still John Riccatello? Why do I feel like John Riccatello left? All right, I don't fucking know.
Or
Let's
it's
just say
that or fucking Andrew, whatever his name is.
Maybe okay, whatever. The head of EA was talking about how he was playing the new Battlefield with the developers right now, and he's like, "I'm so excited! It's gonna be a hell of a live service game." Like that was the quote. And now I'm like suddenly not excited at all for the next Battlefield. I mean, I wasn't like super excited anyways, but like you just ruined it.
The next Battlefield was always going to be a live service title. Like 2042 is what the model was going to be going forward for like the funding model and for like the long-term support. They fucked up 2042, and that reflects in how DICE no longer has full control of that license. They brought in fucking Vincent Pella from Respawn to fix it, and now he's in charge of basically every action project is in Zampella's control now.
Yeah.
And so like the next Battlefield, it's just the fucking CEO talking to his fucking shareholders and saying, trust in us, we're going to figure this out. But also 2042 came out only 2 years ago. You're not going to see this new Battlefield game for another 3 years probably. Like,
I've already
shut
forgotten
the
that
fuck
game
up,
exists.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I echo the sentiment. Fuck them all. Fuck them all.
Burn it all down.
Burn it all down. Okay. My 4-player minute starts now. My final thought, aside from the fact that I'm still playing Stellar Blade and that game is getting cooler and cooler the more I play it, and I did not expect to feel this way about that game, but I'll talk more about it next week, is that there's some rumors swirling about Resident Evil 9, and that the next major Resident Evil game is, I think a lot of people were kind of assuming we'd be seeing the next like remake, which would probably be 5 or Code Veronica. Apparently that's not the next game we're going to be seeing. Resident Evil 9 is supposedly going to be revealed within the next month or two to be released in January. And it's going to, the rumor right now, keep in mind, this is a Dusk Golem rumor. He has a pretty long history of being usually pretty accurate about those things. In fact,
yes,
that Silent Hill, the short message thing, he was talking about that like 4 years ago before, and now it's just coming out and people are talking about it. So like he has pretty good track record. He's got some confirmed scoop. I mean, he's been wrong before, but more often than not, he's right. Resident Evil 9 supposedly is going to be semi-open world, if not fully open world, coming out in January. The biggest game in the franchise to date as far as like development resources and whatnot, and apparently it's been in development for 5 years, which is kind of wild to think about. And I hear apparently that it's going to be like based off of a I think they said Singapore kind of being like a village in Singapore kind of being like the inspiration for like the backdrop, the setting, which could be interesting. But I don't know, man. Resident Evil. I love me some Resident Evil, and Capcom has been making some pretty damn good decisions. I know we said fuck all publishers, and I think Capcom included, but
all of them.
All of them. Fuck all of them.
Fuck all.
Burn in hell, Capcom. But
they have kept Dino Crisis and Onimusha from us for too long. It's unacceptable.
There's reasons to say fuck them. I guess the point is, I like Resident Evil. Capcom hasn't shit the bed yet, in the same way that these other publishers have. So I'm excited. The thought that we might be seeing Resident Evil 9 here pretty soon is pretty exciting. I would imagine it's going to be one of the press conferences, like the PlayStation is supposed to be doing something this month. Summer Game Fest is next month. So I think we'll be seeing it at one of those things. And
can you do it for a Resident Evil 9 name?
That's a good question. I don't.
How do you fit the X in there? That's the real problem. Yeah.
I don't think you do, and I think if they try, it's not gonna work. But
you do Biohazard, but you replace the Z with an X.
That doesn't make any fucking sense either.
Hey, it doesn't. It's gonna be Resident. It's video games. It doesn't fucking matter.
It's gonna be Resident Evil 6, but played in reverse. The Resident Evil 69.
Oh no! They're gonna take the giraffe and they're gonna flip it upside down.
Oh, the giraffe.
Getting
his dick sucked?
Blowjob. Yeah. There you go. That's how it is.
I can never unsee it ever.
I've never been able to see it. So there's been two interesting things here that I want to mention real quick, if you don't mind. The first is that Capcom operates in cycles not based on franchises, but their development principles and design stuff. So Resident Evil 9 is supposed to be like the capstone for their open world exploration with the RE engine, which started with Monster Hunter Worlds and then did Dragon's Dogma 2 and now is ending with the RE9. So that means that we're going to see a new generation of Resident Evil in a whole aspect potentially after this. The other thing was that...
It's a long way away.
Yeah, no, that's still years out. The other thing was that Duskull's original rumor, which he says is no longer happening, but he said that the expectation was that 9 might be delayed, and instead they would release a different Resident Evil title in the interim.
But that apparently is no longer the case.
That may not, that's probably no longer the case, but that sounds to me like they've got an RE project that's pretty far along that could theoretically come out 12 to 18 months afterwards.
I would say that is more than likely Resident Evil Code Veronica or Resident Evil 5 remake.
Oh, please no. Please no.
Wait, what are you talking about? Like those, like what other option is there?
Do not do another, if you're going to do another remake,
Dude, that
the
remake is happening.
original.
Let me tell you. That remake is happening. 100%.
Just
There's no
rethink,
world.
completely repitch the original Resident Evil. Okay?
Dude,
If
let
you're
me
going to
tell
do a
you.
remake.
Let me tell you. That's not happening. They are going in order to some extent, and whatever that interim Resident Evil is, it is going to be a remake. I would, if I had to guess, Code Veronica 5 or 0. One of those. There are no other options. We're moving on. We are done with the show.
My man, just
it is over.
You remake Resident Evil 1 in open world in which you can go into the fucking forest.
I'm not a Capcom executive. You don't need to talk. You don't need to pitch this to me. I'm just telling you what's probably happening. Also, fuck the Capcom executives.
Oh no, fuck the Capcom. Fuck all executives forever.
Fuck all of them. Okay. Somebody tweeted. Somebody like they were like, I'm posting this for no reason today. No obvious reason. But anyways, here's one of my favorite art pieces. It's called "Dinosaurs Eating a CEO," and it was like literally like raptors eating like the guts out of like a person like sprawled in the street, and I was like, that's pretty on point.
There's that might be related to the fact that there is a Argentinian developer who goes by the name Gemini, who has done several PC optimizations for classic Capcom titles like Resident Evil 2 and 3, and now he just got done with Dino Crisis 2.
Okay, look, I don't think that had anything to do with anything Capcom related. I think that was literally just a reaction to Xbox's news.
Okay, sure.
Good point taken. But anyways, that's our show tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. 4playernetwork.com is, of course, our website. But in the interim, in the meantime, you can hang out with us in Discord at discord.gg/4player. You can find our podcast across all podcast services. You can subscribe, leave us a review. We'd appreciate it. You can find us on Spotify, all that stuff. So anyways, we'll be back next week. Don't forget, we are now recording trailer talks in our pre-show. So typically from 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We're watching game trailers live together and just talking about them. So if you want to catch that, tune in live, and then we'll record around 8:30. So we'd love to see you there. In the meantime, y'all be good to each other. Play video games. Fuck CEOs. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Gentlemen, I don't know if it's quite clear yet, but I might be a little loopy.
From 2 shots.
Well, they're double
You
shots.
son of a bitch.
So
739.
793.
793. That's what I said.
Yeah, you were close.
That's what I did.
I also pre-gamed a little today, so
You pre-gamed.
they're double shots, Sonji. Shut up.
Chris Davis fell off the wagon. I don't. Well, I'm just kidding. That's not something.
He
to joke about.
fell
You're not- you weren't off
hard.
the wagon.
He
You just
fell so hard off the wagon.
fell so hard. Okay.
So I didn't think it was necessary to talk about on the show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just like another reason I've been busy lately is like Butters has been like a little shatheed.
Sorry.
So I think he has, from my most recent vet visit, because he only gets sick. Emergency vet, because he only gets sick on nights and weekends. He never gets sick during the day.
That's how it works.
From that one, I think the vet was saying that they think he potentially has like an allergy, like a food allergy, that's like inflaming his bowels, so he's giving him tummy aches and stuff like that, and so we're like now having to put him on like a special diet and all this stuff. So I mean, yes, obviously it sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like, that was like this past Saturday, at like noon. I ended up going to the vet with him. Thankfully, I didn't have to. I wasn't the actual emergency vet. It was just I guess an urgent vet. but yeah, and it's just like, yes, it definitely sucks.
Yeah.
Did y'all change foods when y'all moved up north?
No, but the doctor was saying that it's because he's already on a special diet, that they can develop like kind of almost like a resistance to certain things over time, and so now we're having to put him on like a hypoallergenic diet, which is like super like bland kind of, I don't know, and then we'll slowly introduce things to see what's causing whatever his tummy issues are. But it's just like, yay, fun times.
Poor buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Went over to my dad's place Saturday, hung out for a few hours, and got to see his old collie. She's very old and very tired.
I remember her. It's a her, right?
Yeah,
I remember her. She's nice.
she is a good girl.
Also, I'm not the CEO of 4PP. You don't say fuck me. We don't have a CEO for these
He's
exact
the
close
reasons.
chairman.
You run this fucking show. It's
Fuck me.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I'm shutting down. I'm shutting down our podcast producer role. Sorry, Chris Davis. You're fired.
You're fired.
Effective immediately.
Effective immediately.
You're gonna have to give him back those last 2 paychecks.
Oh yeah, all 37 cents.
Hey, how dare you?
Most of it went to taxes, to be fair.
I was surprised at how little I owed in taxes this year.
That's a nice surprise, though, right?
I was surprised how
Well, I
much
mean,
I
Because
owed.
you bought a new house, or
Well, no, because I sold a house and I sold the land in Texas that I was planning to build a house on, and then we moved up here, and then there's state tax up here that I wasn't, and so like, but yeah, and so I'm surprised at how little I ended up owing this year, and I sold a bunch of stock to help pay for a down payment on the house, and but yeah. And I think we kind of overcompensated on our taxes here, so we actually are getting a refund from the state, but we owe from the federal. So I mean, obviously it's not gonna wash out. But I definitely hired someone this year. I was like, I ain't fucking doing my taxes this year.
I owed way more than I thought, and I paid it, and I got a check from the IRS back for the return amount, which was a whole $6.
Careful with that shit, just because one year I realized I did my own taxes, because generally I do my own. I had fucked up, and I forgot to include some dividends I had earned, and so I filed an addendum to update it, and so I ended up owing like $90 more.
Oh wow!
And so I sent the IRS a check for $90 with the updated like forms and everything. And then like a month later, they sent me a check for that $90 back. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, cool. The next year, they were like, hey, by the way, you owed us $90. You never paid us. You now owe us $108. And I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, I paid you, and then you refunded me, and then you said I owed you? And I spent like fucking 2 hours on the phone trying to get it like I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay you that extra money. And then they were just like, yes, you are.
Shit.
And I was like, what? And it like after like literally like at least almost close to 3 hours of trying to be on the phone with them and get it figured out, I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna fucking pay it because this is not worth my time. And that's how they get you. They fuck you over, and then now you owe them more money, and then they won't let you not pay that money unless you probably spend 30 hours trying to get back your like $12. And you know what? They just steal that $12 from a few thousand people here and there, and all of a sudden it makes up the money. Some fucking bullshit.
So what are we saying? Fuck the IRS?
No, not technically.
Yeah.
Fuck. No, technically, fuck like
Yeah.
Intuit and all these other companies that are preventing the IRS
Yeah.
from actually allowing them to just tell you how much they owe.
Exactly.
They actually would like to, but the problem is all these fucking lobbyists won't let them do it because TurboTax and all these other companies make money off of people doing their taxes with them because it's too complicated to do it yourself. And so they're going to keep doing that and keep filing that and keep going that direction. It's fucking bullshit. The government knows exactly what you owe. And they could just tell you, but they won't allow it.
But hey, they had their public filing beta this year. They'll be better next year. Like,
This is the first year with their
on the
public
up and
thing.
up.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. So many other countries are just like, hey, you owe us $1,000. And you're like, cool. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Damn. I wish they would do that. That'd be nice. Just someone tell me what I owe.
Mhm.
Just tell me. Let's rip that Band-Aid off. And if it sounds bad to me,
The goal is you owe like $1 or $2. And
I would
the
really
goal is to
rather
make
than
it as
tell
even
me,
as
and then I
possible.
can just contest it if I think it's wrong.
No, I get it. I'm just saying the goal is you don't want a refund at the end of the year, because if you get a
Yeah.
refund, you've been given the government a interest-free loan.
All
But
right,
when you
guys.
get a refund, it feels like Christmas, and you're like, yay!
I get it. I get it.
All right. Good night, everybody. I love you.
Bye.
Good
Bye,
job.
guys.
Yeah.
Fuck CEOs.
Bye.
Fuck
Bye.
all CEOs forever. All right. 1 second. Just 1 second. Hang this up. And then we do this. And then we do this. Do we do this? Hang on. If I do this, then I do this. There we go. There's nothing up there. There's nothing. It is a white ceiling cat. There is nothing up there. I may not be as thick as you drunk I am, but I'm telling you, there's nothing up there. Boy. Come on. You're very silly. But I do love you. I don't have a CEO. We're in a narco-synthesis commune. We take votes each week to choose an executive officer. My vote usually weighs out because they can't speak English. And the forum is specifically in English. Yeah. Also, they don't pay rent. Until they pay rent, they don't get privileges. Paxo something or other, Brucey. I know what you're talking about, and that's actually related to feces. And that is not an amoeba that goes in the brain, technically, I believe. Either way, these are good kids because they use the litter box like they should. If they're doing it outside the litter box, then you might have a problem. But Paxo does... As long as you're not diving into it, you're fine. There's nothing up there, Brucey. I'm looking. There's nothing. And yet he can't stop staring. There's nothing. I promise you, boy. I promise you. Anyway. I have not had alcohol in any serious capacity in 2 years. And today drove me to this. I bought this 2 years ago from Specs because I was so excited that they brought back the brand of vodka I like, which is Snow Queen. They brought it back after having stopped carrying it for like 8 years. I was excited. when I got it, and I never opened it because I never found an occasion to actually go drinking. This was an occasion, but not a happy one. I am so... I cannot stress to you how pissed off I was this morning at the news, finding out what happened with those studios, all those people that lost their jobs, people I have fucking met got pink slips this morning. People who are passionate about their fucking craft. Like, all for the effort of reprioritization about tentpole titles and high-profile stuff. Like, that just means you want to put more effort on a Call of Duty model. Fuck that shit. The only saving grace we all anticipated out of the fucking Xbox and Activision merger was that we'd finally be able to get the fucking reins off of all these prominent, smart, talented developers out of Bobby Kotick's fucking hands. And maybe they would have the freedom to actually go make some shit. Like Vicarious Visions was in the news last week because they had pitched Tony Hawk 3+4 remake. And no, that got overridden by Activision for them to make fucking Call of Duty Sport. But now they've been rolled into Blizzard and now they're working on fucking Diablo. Like, fuck this shit. There was also a news story this week in which Call of Duty 2025 still does not, at least as of what I was reading, did not have a primary development studio. A game that is what? 13, 15 months out from release? Still doesn't have a primary developer. Now that's probably changed at this point. But Sledgehammer Games had to make a very strong case for why they did not want to go to being a two-year cycle studio. Like, and Sledgehammer got out of it. An Infinity Ward is not available to do it. Raven is not in a position to do it. So, like, unless it's fucking Treyarch doing 2 games back to back, because they're in charge of Black Ops, the Black Ops Gulf War, which is coming out. It's going to be formally announced next month. Like, that's absurd. 20 years ago, when Treyarch was put on Call of Duty, they made Call of Duty 3 in 11 months. 11 fucking months. That is a remarkable thing to do. What's even more remarkable is that they developed their own engine to make that fucking video game. Like, Call of Duty 3 is not celebrated. It's not something people have gone back and appreciate. But for the fact that they developed that entire game from start to finish in 11 months is incredible. But you can't do that today. You can't. It's impossible. And it's even more impossible to figure out how you would go about doing the level of quality control necessary to facilitate that timeline. There is no realm of possibility in which you can do that anymore. Even if AI tools were incredibly advanced at this point, even if engine optimization was to the point to where it's a basically point and click to add stuff, you can't do it. You can't fucking do it. And it's been what? 8 months, 9 months since the merger closed? Nothing's fucking changed. I don't know. I'm bitter. I'm angry. Yeah, Zero Skies. Nick actually gave me one. I need to figure out how to do that with Restream. I will figure that out after I hang up. Tom has been sleeping this entire time. He's just now getting his energy up. And I need him to get a little bit of energy out of him so that I can sleep tonight. Otherwise, he won't let me sleep. That's not acceptable. Is it, Tom? Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's not acceptable. Until you're a breadwinner around here, you don't have privileges. Anyway, guys, do me a favor. This weekend, this month, if you have not played Hi-Fi Rush, get on Game Pass, buy it. Please experience that game. More people need to experience it. It is a fantastic title. And you know what? If you didn't play Redfall, sure, that's fine. Go play it now. It's not as bad as you think. The October update fixed a lot of issues. It runs fine at 60 frames per second. It's not a bad game. It's just mid. But go play these video games from these developers because this is the last time that they're making games as a studio. And here's the terrible secret. The obvious thing. These developers, a lot of them aren't going to come back to this industry. This industry is way too volatile for people to be willing to stick around anymore. So many people are leaving the industry because they fucking can. And there's, at least in those other industries, there is some instance, some chance of keeping your fucking job. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done. Tom, there's nothing up there. Stop looking. I need to close up shop, guys. Y'all have a pleasant evening. I'm sorry for sounding like a ranting asshole tonight. I was very upset today. It has been a very bad day for a lot of people. And I don't feel as if it's getting enough vitriol to justify the hundreds of people who just lost their jobs. So, anyway, Debbie Downer. Y'all have a pleasant evening. I'll see you in Discord. Y'all have a good night.